Yo, what's going on? What's going on, brothers? What's going on? IP in the building, IP in the cup. Type of one in the live stream chat. If you can hear me loud and clear. Who's here, bro? Who is here? Can y'all hear me? How's the audio? Y'all good? Y'all straight? Who's here? Type of one in the live stream chat. If you hear me, man. Type of one. Type of one in the chat. Who's here? If you can hear me loud and clear, type of one, bro. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Sir Game of the Glow. Shout out to Jay Bonkers. Can I get more ones, please? Can I get more ones? I'm out here putting Shrek as the ABI of this stream. Yeah, I gotta show some support, man. Who's here? Turin TV, what's up? What's up? Awesome, man. Awesome. Let's get straight into it. F it. So thank you once again, brothers, for joining me in this stream for another classic live stream. First and foremost, please hit the super chats throughout tonight. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, please join the Patreon for more incredible intel that's coming on the way and is currently on there. Okay, so let's get straight into it. The theme of this live stream is this: money versus looks versus personality. Which matters the most in modern dating today? Okay, so I'm going to open up the phone lines in a bit, but let me give my monologue first, right? These are three key things that are dominating the dating scene right now. Is it money? Is it looks? Is it personality that will get you the girl and keep you the girl? Okay. So now I'm going to argue for all of it. And we're going to debate as to what is the actual answer here. So let's start with money first, right? I don't care what anyone says. All women love money, right? Women love money to the point where a lot of the advertisements, a lot of the products are geared towards women, okay? Why? Because women want to look good all the time, okay? Women want to eat at these fancy restaurants. Women want to take a goddamn selfie all the time. Oh, look at me in Benihana, or look at me in flipping, steak and lobster, etc. Okay, so money, right, is a thing that women look for in a guy. Let's keep it a buck. Okay, there's a reason why there's this trend of 6 figures, 6 series, 6 Benz. All that is linked with money. Okay, women want to be, looked after, pampered. They want security, and money is indeed a factor that we cannot ignore. So that's the argument for money so far. Then when we go further into it, right now, type of 2 in the chat if you agree with me. We all see beautiful women with ugly, fugly dudes, and we're thinking, right, how's that even possible? Well, we know why. If that guy is rich, if he has the money, he can essentially get any girl he wants. Okay, so the idea that money, right, when women say, oh, it's about the money, blah blah blah, in many cases it is. Okay, so money could be a factor in regards to why a lot of men, build businesses, get big cars, shiny cars to show off, to get chicks, especially in like cities like Miami, LA, etc., where if you ain't got it, you ain't getting the chick. Okay. Now we have looks. And looks is where, people say it looks over everything, right? If you're a good looking guy, you can be poor, you can have a really boring personality, you're already in. Is that true? Is that a fact? Okay. Well, I also believe that also may be the case. We've all known or seen a guy where he's a bum, has no good job, has no job in many cases, and he always has women after him, women pampering him. It's because he may be a good looking guy, right? You know, so looks is definitely a thing where we can't ignore in terms of the modern dating scene. And when people say that, oh, looks don't matter, that's BS. There's a reason why this whole looks maximum trend is a thing right now that's blowing up. So that's the looks part. Then we have personality. Okay. Is personality an important thing to get women? Well, the argument is that, okay, if you're a guy that is bubbly, is fun to be around with, etc., right? You could say that, oh, personality could get you the girl. Okay, hold on, let me just charge my laptop. Give me a sec. You could say like, oh yeah, okay, like just be a bubbly guy, just be you, bro, just be you. And in many cases, right, that actually might work. We also seen a guy that may not be good looking, may not have any money, but his energy is so different that women want to be around him. You know, women really like him, right? So there's many like positives for this in terms of, okay, if all these things matter, right? What should men prioritize in 2026? Okay, to get the woman they want, should they prioritize looks? Should they prioritize money, or should they prioritize personality? These are three things we're going to debate today, right now. What should men prioritize to actually get over the line as a passport, bro? Okay. Um, shout out to Edward. Edward, we don't have Cash App in the UK, bro. So Edward, if you want to support, I would advise you to please join the Patreon, right? Please, that'll be greatly appreciated, bro. If you want to support, join the Patreon, brother. Show me some support, bro, and that'll be appreciated, Edward. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. So Nonchalant says, looks first, money two, personality three. In what order is that's interesting, bro? I'm gonna open up the phone lines right now. Okay, it's gonna be a call-in show, and I want to hear your brother's thoughts. Okay, let's go. In what order is important in 2026 to get the woman you want? Okay, should men prioritize looks, skincare, right? Looks maxing, when shoe heels make you appear taller, you know, um, moisturizing your lips, get shiny lips, getting a jawline, or should men prioritize career, making this money, becoming a millionaire or 1,000 year, or should men just the max, just the max, meaning that try and be the funniest guy in the room, try and make her laugh, all the time, try and have that larger than life personality. Oh, look at me, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Should men prioritize that? Right? I want y'all to call in, right? And let's debate, right? What should men prioritize, right now to get the woman they want? Is it money? Is it looks? Is it personality? And I actually feel like all of it can be correct. Literally, money can get you women, right? Looks can get you women, and personality also can get you women. I'm gonna bring in Obi in it right now, bro. Shout out to Obi for calling in. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's go, man. I don't Obi's gonna drop some games in this B, man. Let's go. Let me bring in Obi in the background, bro. Obi Kenobi. Obi Star Wars, man. What's up, Obi? You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, and you?
I'm all right, brother. How are you, bro? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing fine. I'm all right.
Thank you, bro, for calling in.
No problem. So yeah. So for me, I think that look is first because let me make sure that we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about just getting girl or getting girl for relationship.
Brother, I would say, right, getting girls for a relationship, bro.
Uh, So this is especially for relationship. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mm, ah, I need to change my priorities. I will say personality first because 95% of the time you will deal with your girl. So you need to talk to her. You will need to deal with her personality. So 95% of the time will be like human exchange. So and if you don't have a great personality, I don't think that the money and the look can keep up for a long time. So I will say first personality, uh, and I will say money. Second, and look. Look, as long as you don't look like a complete homeless guy, if you take care of yourself, if you shower, if you dress nice, if you smell good, she can tolerate you not being the best looking guy if you have the money and the personality.
Interesting. So, brother, let me ask just right. So, and I will ask you, right? Let's say
Yeah.
just for like hookups, what you believe in, but let's do relationships first, bro. Now, what kind of you said personality first?
Yeah.
What kind of personality should that guy be to keep the woman? Because there's many there's many different ways to be a personable guy. Is it hyper masculine? Is it a funny guy? Is it, let's say, a guy that knows how to speak to women very well? What kind of personality keeps a girl, bro, in your opinion?
So for me, I would say in general, the guy needs to put respect first because if your girl doesn't respect you, she will step on you. She will talk you in a bad way. She will be the most evil person with you, and it will not last long. So if you don't put respect first, I don't think that the relation can can continue for a long time. So, and in order to be respected as a guy, you need to have boundaries. So you don't need to be afraid to be sometime assertive, but not too much, because she will feel that you are too controlling. So you need to be assertive in the right moment. You also need to take the lead, because girls, they find it hard to make the best decision. So, for example, if this weekend you have some free time, plan things with your girl. And for example, you can go to the restaurant, you can go to the beach. If you can be proactive in the relation, and and also be have things going for yourself. So don't be too much over your girl, because she will feel like you are the only option. So do stuff for yourself, and I think that this will be all right. But respect for me is first, and everything will match if you put respect first in the relationship, and after you need to be funny and all the other things that goes with being a good person. You're so funny, Yeah, but funny and yeah, and the rest. But
Okay.
you need to be like a special character that you only see on movies. Just be a normal human being, but put respect first. I think respect is the number one um, requirement in a relationship with a girl.
Okay. So, but let me ask this right. So now you said that personality is important, right? But
Mm.
before you meet the girl, what's gonna draw her towards you? So let's say, brother, right, you're gonna cold approach a chick that you find attractive physically. Now, when you go up to that girl and talk to her,
Mm.
okay, it won't be your personality, in my opinion, that's gonna get you her number. She'll look at you up and down, look at your face, look at what you're wearing, bro, and say, okay, she likes what she sees. I believe that looks get you in the door. So that means that even though you have the personality, bro, if you don't look good, right, you may not get the girl you want. Or am I thinking wrong there, bro? Especially let's say like it's in a social setting and in a friend group. Okay, she knows who you are, your personality. Okay, then maybe she may be attracted towards you then, right? But let's say it's a random girl you want to cold approach, right? Don't you think that she will prioritize looks over personality first as a first meeting, bro? Or am I wrong there?
No, I don't think, because when you approach a girl on the street, the first second you talk and you can share your energy to the girl. So let me take an example. You can be good looking, but if you don't know how to talk with confidence, if you don't know what to say, if you're struggling talking to the girl, she will feel it. And then the dream that she has on her mind when she first saw you will just crash when you will start to talk. But if that's what I said in the beginning, if you're not too good looking, but if you're just like, because I think that most guys are not ugly, they are just not well presented. I don't know. Excuse my English because I'm from France, but I think that this is the correct word. They're not well put together, let me say. So they don't have the best. They don't have the best clothes. They don't dress well. They don't have the best haircut. They don't have a nice skincare. But if you correct all this, and if you go to the gym, most of the guys are not really that ugly. So if you're not ugly, but you're not like beautiful, but you're like in the middle, your personality can compensate you not being the best looking guy. And with your energy, the first second when you talk to a girl, she will feel it. If you're confident, if you smile, if you're strong in your position, girl can feel if a guy is uh, strong in himself. And that's the most important thing for a girl.
Okay, awesome. I got Jay in the background. What's up, Jay? You good? Your camera's on, Jay. Just to make you aware. Thank you, Jay. Let me bring in Jay in the background. Let's see what it says. What's up, Jay? You good, bro?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How's your weekend going so far, bro?
Yes, sir. It's been good. I'm hearing the guest has a French accent. I don't want to be selfish and take over. I just wanted to ask about his experience in France and all that because I'm going to France soon. I just wanted to ask
Okay, yeah.
about what the experience is like as a brother. I know there's a crap ton of Middle Easterns, Africans, and a lot of foreigners in France. So I know it's not just only French white women.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in France. Uh, my roots are from Nigeria. So my parents are from Nigeria. And you mean the experience with girls in life, with
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, yeah, dating wise, especially the
uh,
south of France. How's it?
me? I live in the center, in the middle, in a small town. But I've been living in different cities. So the experience dating is nice. It's good. I think because I lived in the UK. I lived in London and Manchester. It's quite similar. It's quite similar.
What makes it good? Like, do we have a good image? Because a lot of us American brothers, like we feel as if our image isn't the best, and um, so it's kind of it's harder to date from my perspective on things. And friends, is it the same way? Do you guys have a positive image? Do women prefer you guys? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Ah, the thing is that as a black guy in France, I don't know if you know the history of France, but France has had a lot of colonies across the world. So the immigration of black people in France is not recent. So you can find like a long time immigration in France. So French people are used to black. French girls are used to black guy. You're not like a rare commodity in France.
Okay,
So
that's good.
so it's not like if you go to maybe Germany or if you go to Sweden or those countries that you will be rare. In France, people should look like a normal person because French has a long history with black countries. So if you come, there's no stereotype against black people. You will just fit in like a normal person.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for that.
No problem.
So Jay, on the live stream topic, looks versus money, it's personality. What are you going with, bro, in your honest opinions, to actually get a woman in a relationship, and why?
Yeah. So nowadays, especially like the younger generation, I think it's looks first, um, and then money, and then personality. If you don't meet a certain type of height or look or style, a lot of girls will automatically discriminate against you. So you won't even get a chance. You won't even get a foot in the door if you don't meet certain prerequisites, which is unfortunate. So yeah, you have your standard beauty and all that. If you don't meet that, it's kind of tough. So you have your guys that meet those requirements, and they might not be the richest, but at least they get a chance to get the girl to like them and all that through their personality. So yeah, like I
Okay.
said, looks, money, personality.
So for black men, right, what
Mm.
kind of look is that? Is it the ripped, muscly look? Is the tall, skinny rock star look? Is
Yeah,
it
so
that dad bod look? Break it down for me, bro.
I think like I'm young, so I don't want to sound ignorant, but from my perspective on things, it's like the movies, social media only portrays us in just in certain ways. So like we're either the top athlete, the best rappers, um, or just like absolute physical freaks. So if you don't meet that stereotype, the girls are like, who are you? Like, you're not one of these guys I've seen in the movies or on social media. Then you must be lame, or you must be weird. So because you don't have vast representation of what we could be, it's you have to fall under a certain category to really attract women. Again, this is my perspective on things living in the States. I'm not sure how it is in other places, but this is my perspective, and I'd be curious to see how other brother feels about that.
Okay. And how much money, brother, in your opinion, are we talking here? Career wise, 100K a year, 50K a year. What's the minimum baseline?
Yeah, so once you actually get your foot in the door, it's assuming she likes your looks, then money will also be quite important if you're looking to keep the girl long term. Obviously, a short term fling, money will not be a factor per se, but if you're looking to have a girlfriend or get married, depending on the city, you want to obviously be making enough to keep the family afloat, assuming the woman gets pregnant and you guys have kids and all that. So to answer your question, at least 100K, depending on where you live, what city you're in.
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. What's your thoughts, Obi? Obviously, but Obi, you picked a personality over money and looks. Do you agree or disagree with Jay, bro?
I think that Jay was specifically talking about the US because in France it's totally different. You know, So I think for the US is right because the US is a capitalistic country to the roof, but France is very like social. So girls, yeah, won't judge you if you don't have if you don't make a lot of money every month. Don't really care, and this goes for any kind of girl, can be black, white, Arabs, any type. In France, if you make 2,000 euro per month, you can get any girl.
Oh
And
wow,
2,000,
that's impossible in the States.
yeah. That's why. And 2,000 euro per month is like is 24,000 a year. So
Yeah.
in dollar, I think it's around like 30 30,000 uh, 30,000 US dollar per year. If you make that kind of money in the US, you're considered like a homeless person. So, but in France, you don't have to make that much money. In France, I think France or Europe, if you know how to socialize with people, I think that's the most important thing. If you know how to socialize with people, make good connection, be a nice person, you know how to talk, you have contact. This will get you in different kind of doors, and then you can show off your personality. That's why I put personality first, and then second was look. If you take care of yourself, and then money on third position.
Yeah, no, that's great. I wish it was the same here stateside. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's
But
all
the
about it's
state,
all about it seems like it's all about status, looks, and again, you know, because our image is not the best here, it's hard to get into those doors. Again, this is my perspective on things, but I'm interested to see what other
ah,
brothers think.
okay, I understand. You mean
Yeah.
your image as a black guy in the US?
Yeah, it's not very positive. It's not very positive. Yeah.
Yeah,
How is it in France? In France, what's the image like for black men in France, bro?
have you guys seen the World Cup, the French World Cup,
Yeah,
for the French football team in the
all
World Cup?
black, mostly black, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only black people, you see. French, white French people, they don't really complain. You don't really see too much racism about the French team. It's only foreigners, so people living in Argentina, in other countries. But in France, people love our team. So
Okay.
Yeah, so
So,
stateside.
Obi, sorry there. Obi, I want to come in because obviously, like, if you're a superstar footballer, right, or some sort of sports person, you're black, you're gonna get love, especially if you do well for your country, right? What about for average black men, Mr. Obi? I'm talking about black men who are just average black dudes who are not famous, not super rich, bro, just everyday normal black men. How are they treated in France, and what's the image like for us average black men, bro?
yeah,
Forget about superstars, bro. Footballers or all these rich people, bro. Average black men, Obi, please.
yeah. I was going to that because I wanted to take this for a reference, and I wanted to say that people don't have a bad connotation about black people because, as I said at the beginning, I think the situation of the black people in the country is very different from every country. And France has a long and specific history with colonization. So French people are used to black people. If you come to France, if you come to Paris, for example, you will see black people working in every kind of position. You know, uh, also you need to know that if you want to be integrated in the society, it's very easy because, for instance, if you want to study in the university, it's free for everyone, so you don't have to pay. There's not like a bad connotation across all the country against black people like in the US. If you know how to talk and you dress well and you behave well, you can go into any field. You can get
This is
girls.
Wow.
great. Like, thanks for the insight. But I guess my question is like stateside, it's the same thing. Like, our top athletes are typically black. We have successful black folks across various industries. You see black folks everywhere. We've been here for centuries. So I'm just trying to figure out what like why is y'all's, I guess, life so much more better
Ah,
versus ours,
I get it.
where it's the same type of
Because
factory that you.
yeah, because France is a social country.
Okay, yeah. So that,
So
yeah, makes sense.
so everything is put is structure, sorry, for everyone to be equal, no matter
Hmm.
where you came from, no matter if
Interesting.
you're
Okay.
from North Africa, if you're even if you don't have if you are illegal immigrant, the state will still try to help you. If you want
Hmm.
to have medical assistance, it's free. University is free. If you struggle to pay your rent, the state can give you some money. People that don't work, that don't have any job, they can still get money from the state. There's so many input of the state in the life of anyone that erase the inequalities.
Thank you, Obi. Hey, IP, real quick, going back to the topic, to your question. If I were to give the same ranking for non-black folks, um, for example, like our white counterparts, I would say personality would be first. Honestly, like for them, like at least from what I've seen in my experience, they can be average in all factors, but as long as the personality is good, they could get the prettiest women here in the States. Trust me.
Yeah.
But for us brothers, it's like you got to be super good looking, or you got to have status, or you got to have money. It's different. So the ranking isn't congruent across all societies.
Wow. Is that
For
wow?
this is my
Interesting.
opinion, though. This is my opinion.
Hmm. But you said non-black people. Is that like Indian, white, or is that? Or are you mostly talking about white men, dudes?
I'd say white men. Yeah, yeah, I'd say mostly white men, but yeah.
Wow. And what do you think? How do you think we can change that, bro? Because I'll be honest with you. I feel like you can't change how you look, but you can change your personality, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
is
It's
it
a
is
good
it is it a
question.
race? Is it a racist thing, brother? We can't do anything about it, or what's your thoughts, bro?
I don't think people. I don't know. I don't think people are intentionally racist, but that's hard. That's hard. Okay, let's take it from like a dating app point of view. Being a black man on a dating app in America, unless
Hmm.
you're like top 1%, you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle. So and again, you could be an average, decent looking guy, but you're really gonna struggle on these dating apps in the States. And I'm not saying that because the women are necessarily racist, but I don't know. That's the social media part. In real life, how do we fix it? Shit, just get your passport. Honestly, I don't know how. I've thought of many ways of just trying to improve my dating life here. It's not easy. So just get
Hmm.
your passport. Honestly,
But IP,
Yeah.
uh, I think uh, for me, what I've seen during my whole life is that when you live in a certain city, you need to be integrated in some activities that happen in the city. So I don't know. For instance, if you live, I don't know, in Washington, I don't know if you like I don't know if you like fashion, if you like how to dress, participate. Go to the activities that are related to fashion, and then from there you can meet face-to-face people that share the same interest as you. I think this is a way to to compensate the fact of being blind, because I think that most of us, we stay in our group, or we stay in our uh, um, how can I say, we stay in our social environment, and then we complain, why we don't get girls, why we don't have this kind of opportunity. But I think that because we are black, we need to make a big effort to be more integrated in our city by participating in activities, and this goes to talk to everyone, no matter the skin color. Can be black, white, Indian, depending on which kind of ethnicity you have in your city. And from there, this will break the stereotype that some people can have against black people, because they can see face to face that you are a good person. So this is
Yeah,
my.
no, that's fair. Yeah, that's great advice, and we appreciate that.
Awesome, awesome. So, okay, um, now Obi, have you traveled much yourself, bro, around the world?
Yeah, I think I've been to around 10 countries. So, thanks to you, IP, I'm going to Berlin next week. This is
Perfect.
really thanks to you. But I've been to Colombia. I lived in the UK for a year and a half. So I lived in London and Manchester. I went to Spain. I went to the States, so to the US. Went to Canada. Went to Nigeria, Italy. I think, Turkey, and that's it.
Okay. Now, brother, I'm going to obviously keep on the theme topic very soon, but
Mm.
which countries, I'm not sure if you dated or you tried to speak a woman or date women in these countries, right? But in your travels, bro, which countries did the woman actually treated you well? Are you dark skin or are you light skin?
I would say I'm light skinned.
Okay, I see.
Mostly.
Okay, so which countries, brother, would you say treat you well, the woman there in your travels?
I would say France. So where I'm from, France.
Oh, wow, is that Paris?
France, and I will also say no. I will also say it goes hand to hand. I will also say London in the UK.
I'm
Okay,
curious. In France, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, IP.
hold that question there, Jay. So now, brother, was it looks, was it money, or personality that did well for you in London and France? Which, in what order?
Uh, I must say looks, because I'm 6'5", and I
Oh,
play
okay.
basketball.
Ah, oh my goodness. There we go. There we
So,
go. It's
but
over.
not only to refer to myself, because I also see my friends in France, and they are doing very well. The thing is, in France, if you know how to socialize with people, really, if you know how to talk, if you're like a sneaky person, that's the best game. If you have game in France, voilà. If you have game, and if you're a social person, even if you don't have the best look or a lot of money, you can get a lot of girl, because French girls really like when you talk to them, like in a romantic way, or like you need to know how to talk to them. That's the best thing. Like, have you seen, for example, I don't know if you, because he's a white guy, but sometimes when because I've seen that in France, but sometimes when the American guy come to France, they try to show off, doesn't work
Hmm.
with French girl.
I've
And
seen that
then,
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Like, yeah, collab, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's a white guy. But even with the ballers, the black guy is the same thing. It doesn't work because French girls don't really relate to that. And you know,
Mm.
the clav guy,
He's doing
he didn't,
amazing in America.
yeah, because he have all the fame and the money. But in France, he didn't know how to talk to the girls, as you have seen on the videos. It doesn't work. In French, really, you need to be a talkative. If you have a game, you can go. Game is the personality is the best way to get girls, and I think it's mostly in Europe. So if you travel to Spain, it be the same thing. If you go to the UK, the same. If you go
Ob
to yeah,
in France, like amongst the black guys, like which race of woman or which nationality of woman shows the black men the most love? Like when you're walking down the street, like are black men typically with other black women or are they with other types of women? I'm curious.
you mean if what kind of origin do you prefer the white
Yeah,
girl?
what do you typically see the average
Ah,
black man with? And I will say also, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
ah
go
no,
ahead.
white, North America, so the Arabs, but I would say mostly white. We have also like a lot of mixed people. So it can be like French Italian girl, French Spanish girl, French Moroccan girl. There's a lot of mixed girl. Can be Portuguese, French Portuguese, Portuguese Italian. You have a lot of this kind of mixed, and those mixed girls also like black guys a lot, plus French girl.
Are
What? Wow. Interesting. This is good intel. Wow.
are are,
I'm
are the
gonna.
North African girls? Are they pretty open? Are they pretty open? Is that pretty common with
Yeah. If you go to Paris, all the Moroccan, because one of my ex was from Morocco. I stayed with her
Oh wow,
a year,
they're beautiful.
so she was from Morocco. And but you need to go to the big cities. So if you go to Paris, Bordeaux, Toulouse, Marseille, all these big cities where there is a lot of ethnicities, everyone is mixed. And
Mm.
when I was referring to the French football team, it's not as I was saying, oh, because you're an athlete, you have money, the French people will like you. I was referring by saying that uh, French people are accommodate to diversity. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So if you're
Yeah.
black, you will
Okay.
not face adversity. You just need to be a good person, and people will treat you well.
Mm.
That's
wow.
why that's
So
what I was
Okay.
referring to.
you talk about half French, half Moroccan, half Arab, half French, bro. That's a crazy mix, bro. And you
Yeah,
said these are women that like are with black men. They
yeah,
rock
yeah,
with black men.
yeah, yeah. You can see a lot of them because uh, so many people don't know about the French history, but so many people immigrated first from Italy, Spain, back in I think in the 50s. Then after it was the all the Algerian and the Moroccan, and French colonized Algeria for 150 years. So Algeria was part of the French country in the 19th centuries. People don't know about that, but Algeria was a French state. So that's why you have a lot of Algerian, a lot of Tunisian, a lot of Moroccans, a lot of Italians, a lot of Spanish, and then after came the immigration of black African countries. So all this together is going to make a mixed, and
Wow.
the result of but those girls you will notice them because they're white but tan.
Huh.
So you will notice them if you go to Paris. If you ever come to Paris, you will notice it directly. they will be white but tan, and they will look like Italian, like a dark white girl, like for like maybe like Italian, Moroccan, like a mixed. No, everything is mixed. So plus you
Oh,
have I don't know if you know, guys, but French also has the Highland. So Guadeloupe, Martinique, La Réunion. So these are black island, and it's part of French territory. So all this makes a mix. You can find girl that has Guadeloupe, Moroccan, Italian blood in the same girl, and those girls will
wow.
like black guys for sure.
Brother, let me ask this right. So hold on. So let me ask this, brother, right? So now, what is the what is the actual the scene for dark skinned black man? Because brother, I gotta be real here, right? You are 6'5", light skinned black man, brother. You are literally, I'll be honest with you, brother. Top 1%. You're light skinned, right? You're 6'5". You play basketball. You probably have a chiseled jawline, bro. Bro, you're gonna get girls easy, bro. Okay. Now, what about if you're a dark skinned black man? You're not 6 foot, but you're in shape. You dress well. Can dark skinned black men do well in France, bro?
Yeah, of course. It's not about them because no, as I said, uh, in France, it's very mixed. So people are accommodate to black people. You're not like it's not like segregate like in the states or like maybe Brazil or other countries. So we don't really have this distinct of. I think it exists, but it's not like permanent. You know, we don't have this distinct of light skin, dark skin. We don't have this. And if you look good, if you dress well, if you talk well, that's the most important thing. If you talk well, if you dress well, if you have confidence, you can get girls easily.
Okay.
And I think,
Now,
yeah,
yeah, go on, bro.
yeah, and I think it's mostly. I think that your facial structure matter more than your skin color because there's a lot of dark skin black guy that have a great facial structure, sorry, and no matter if they're dark or light, they will look good. So it doesn't really matter.
What do you mean by facial structure, bro? Is that like again slim face, chiseled jawline? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean, or
exactly. Yeah,
do
exactly.
you,
Yeah,
okay, like so? But someone like who I like? Who's a famous person that's dark skin has a good jawline?
I think it's like
Um.
Idris, the guy that the black guy in F1 movie.
Oh, Damson Idris. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll bring him
if
up.
you look like this in
Mm.
France, you will get all the girls. If you look like this guy, if you are clean cut like him, if you dress well, speak well, you will. French girls they don't really make the distinction because also
Mm.
because we are so accommodate in the country, but I'm not so completely delusional. Racism is still existing in France, but you can still make it as a black guy without any problem. Yeah, yeah. If you look like this, lah, if you look like this, you go to Paris, it's game over. Game over.
Bam.
But you need to
So
speak well because French people are very like they pay very attention how you speak. If you speak in a good manner and you dress well, it's over.
okay, so I'm gonna bring in James, Ezra, and Jay. Please, guys, no swearing, bros, and keep it PG, please. Keep it very PG, no swearing as well, please. No N-word use. Before I do so, let me ask this, Obi. Right now, what about? Do you feel like men will do better dating in France than in London, in Paris, or Is London best than Paris for dating, in your opinion?
I lived in both cities. I did as good as in Paris and London, but I don't like London because London is very superficial,
Mm,
and the girl they don't stay. They are very erratic, so they don't stay. You can get girl easily, but you can easily lose the girl because they're thinking
mm,
about the next guy quickly. So when I was in London, I had success, but I couldn't keep the girls. So I need to constantly keep chasing put some energy to get new girls. So it's pretty exhausting. And Manchester is nice. I really like Manchester, but I wasn't. I didn't like the culture because I'm not English. I was born in France, so I prefer the French culture than the English culture. But Manchester was a good experience. But overall the UK is hard to keep the girl, but in France it's easy to keep the girl. So once you get to know the girl, you can easily keep her than in the UK. So that's the difference.
mm. Okay, and how do French women feel about bold men, young French women? Because a lot of black men lose their hair, bro. And like, does that matter if they have hair or no hair, or do they really like hair?
But you're cooked. If you're old, they won't like it because usually French girls they tend to stick with the guys that have the same age, the same range, or the same age range.
Mm.
Them. So you will not see a 50 years old guy with a 22 years old girl. No, it's not happening in France. No. Sorry, doesn't.
Okay.
No, yeah, no.
Shout out to Mr. Activo V3C for the support. This is French. I don't know how to say that. What does that mean, Obi?
I
Il
think
fait, il fait laisser la cave tranquille par. Ah, frère, il fait laisser la cave tranquille parle. Tranquille pas trop parle.
tranquil means peace, right? Or calm.
I think he was saying don't talk too much because you're saying game.
Okay. All right. Thank you, bro. So I got Ezra, Jay, and James. What's up? We'll go with Ezra first. What's up, Ezra? You good, bro?
Yeah. Bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Ça va, merci.
Oui. Je m'appelle Azrael.
Okay.
And
Nice.
that's about that's about it. But I'll say this. Thank you for being on. I'm literally because my budget is so tight. I'll be in Montreal next week for my birthday. I've been meaning to learn French since like last month, but I'm literally learning Portuguese right now. I've been studying Portuguese since September of last year, but I've been to Paris almost like 5 times.
Okay. Nice.
When I tell dudes, Paris is like the sexier version of New York.
Hey, it's true. It's true.
And
Mm.
the amount of I say all the beautiful black women from Africa go to Paris to model. They don't go to some of them do go to parts of England and whatnot, but if you want to see some of the most like, and not just like the physically, but Paris, I've seen the most well dressed black people like of all. Everybody's just even if you don't have a lot of money, like majority of the time, everybody's well put together.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because Paris is the fashion capital of the world.
Right. Yeah. And I mean English too as well to some degree, but
No.
Paris, it depends. If you go to some places, not everywhere though. Yeah. Like if you go to Soho in England, yeah. But
Oh yeah. But in Paris, everywhere you will see people nice dressed.
yes. And I'm telling you, some of the finest, like they're y'all gonna call me a simp, but I'm telling you right now, there are some black women on Instagram that I find She wanted this girl. She's Cameroonian, but she lives in Paris. I swear, if I see
So,
her in real life, I'm proposing. She's just so fine.
so let me ask as well, right? So, what are you going for? Money, looks, versus personality. In your honest opinion, what matters the most to keep a woman in a relationship or get her?
I think it depends on the culture.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why. That's why clavicle. I knew clavicular wasn't gonna do well in Paris, because one thing that Parisian people um are annoyed the most by is Americans that come up to them and just start speaking English. Like if you go to a store and like let's say IP, like you come into America, you go to New York, you can, if you want something in the store, be like, hey, can I get this? They're not gonna care that you didn't say good morning or hello or how are you. In Paris, they already we English or Westerners already have like a bad stigma about being rude and having no manners. So you just go up to people and even try to say bonjour. Like if you would have said bonjour or try to play it off, they're like, oh, this guy is a little interesting. Let me see what he got to say. It comes across as though you're more humble and you're kind of willing to accept the culture. French people are very focused on being like French centric. So I would say in a place like Paris, it's more about your personality and how you get along with people and do you rub people the right way. In a place
Exactly.
like Miami, it's status and looks and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's the difference. In France, you don't need money. I knew some guy, uh, black or white. They live like in the poorest condition, in the suburbs of Paris. But once they need to come in the center of the city to meet people, you will not recognize, or you will not detect that they're poor because they speak well, they dress well, and they will get the baddest girl. This is
Right.
Paris.
And
But
Paris has all, like people talk about Brazil. Some of the you'll find fine Jewish girls there, fine white girls, fine Italian girls, fine, like you got to think about it. France colonized 20 countries, and
or
not
even
all of
more.
right. From what I know, that's what a white guy told me. I was like, oh snap, because people were talking about what the whole team is black. Because I like the French team as well. Like I mean, I like TT.
Mbappe.
I like Zidane. From back in the day. But I do like this team like Mbappe, Dembele, Barcola, um, Olise. Even though like Olise is kind of English, he don't speak French. But I do. Well, he wasn't lying. Like if you guys ever get a chance, just you got French woman that's from French speaking woman from Reunion, from
Yeah,
like you said, Martinique, Guadeloupe.
exactly. Yeah,
Like you, man, let me tell you, you'll find if you just make sure that you're clean, well dressed, not like you don't gotta have the flyest stuff on. Actually, if you have on name brand stuff, that's more of a turn off. Actually, just make sure that you're well kept
yeah,
and just make sure you're not sloppy looking. And
exactly.
I've had women come and
Yeah.
smile at me. I'm talking about
I wanna
yeah.
hold that for that. I want to bring in James in the background. What's up, James? You good, bro?
I went to France for the first time in 1997. And my experience of when I stepped ground and Cannes, this is where the ship goes. I'm pretty sure you know that. I had an experience of racism. I asked for a cheeseburger and I said, just want mustard and ketchup, regular cheeseburger. And he put this extra hot sauce on it that burned my mouth and he thought it was funny. I said, I want my money back. And he waves his hand away. So I went over there and got my security chief. They came back, they started talking, and the guy gave me my money back. And I went to another store and it had this racist t-shirts right in front of the store. And I looked at the lady. She just looked at me with a soft smile, not saying anything. And I'm like, wow. But that was it. I didn't really experience too much after that. And I started mixing mingling with the French girls. First thing I know is that they really liked us. They really liked us, and they wanted to dance with us. They wanted to get to know us. They were trying to speak English. They didn't really care if we didn't speak French or not. There was none of that. I didn't experience any of that at all. The closer to the military base you get, the less likely you're going to have French people getting mad because you don't speak French. But when you go out to the regular areas in the general public, you probably will experience that. And goes all the way back to World War II. You know, a lot happened after the war, and there was a lot that created what you see today. And that's more about what you can't talk about because you said PG. You're going to have to look that information up. You talk about money, looks, and personality. I would ask you guys, like, what do you think the most important is when it comes to getting the girl, that number one? And you mean, you go ahead and answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's still personality, because at the end of the day, most of your interaction with the girl will be human interaction. So you
Right.
will,
Personality. So
yeah,
what I was pointing out is the one that you can attain, the easiest to attain and the most effective is personality. Okay. It's hard to get the money because when I say the money, people just think about just money, period. What I'm talking about is that life-changing money, which is the minimum of about $5 million. It used to be $1 million, but the minimum life-changing money is not 2, it's not 3, it's around $4 to $5 million. That's the one where you could just say, I'm done. Okay? It ain't 2. Because you have to understand, you got to buy the car, you got to buy the house, you got to make sure your insurance is right, you got to make sure your investments are right. Okay, you got to make sure you get all the things that you need to be able to travel right and live comfortably, and then have the rest of the money to take care of all your bills comfortably, so you can eat where you want, live where you want, and date who you want. You got to have the best clothes, the best gear. You got to have money to get the best haircuts, skin care, medical care, gym. Okay, legal bills, etc. When you get all that, I guarantee you it might even be more than $5 million. Okay? People don't look at the whole spectrum. That's why a lot of dudes who want to travel, they forget the budget right. They take the same budget they have in the United States and they try to travel with it. But I have heard a lot about France. And I do know that I have access to a lot of French girls because I'm glad you mentioned New York, because all pair girls, they do hire a lot of French women. France, Germany. One of my favorite girls that was all pair girls from Serbia. Go figure. But yeah, I heard a lot about France, but I haven't been there in a while. I do know a friend of mine who did go to France about a year and a half ago. He had a bad experience with the women. They were cold, but that's his experience. He's not an ugly dude. Not an ugly dude.
Can I add something real quick on that?
What's up?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I know we've been hyping up France and all that. I've also been to Paris, so you can't just expect to go there, stay there for a week, and expect to pull a woman. You gotta know the language. You gotta be well integrated, as Obi said.
yeah.
You gotta go to the right places, etc. And you actually have to be there for a while to actually meet and sustain relationships. So just don't get your ticket tomorrow, go to Paris, and expect to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
love, and then come back here and get mad at us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true, because it's the same thing everywhere in France. You need to be socially integrated. That's was my main point at the beginning. You don't need to have too much money or everything else. If you're socially integrated and you know people, the doors are open. But if you come just straight from the plane and you start to talk to girls in English, because also you guys need to understand that French people don't speak well English at all. It's not like if you go to Germany where they speak well English, or Sweden. If you come
Right.
to France, people don't speak English at all. So if
Right.
you come to approach the girl in the street randomly, she will not understand. She will say, "Who is this weirdos, it will not be effective.
Think about it this way. Imagine you're in New York and someone speaks Russian to you. You'd be like, whoa, what is going on? What's going on? It'll kind of like why you can't speak English? You know what I mean? You're into your first.
Have you been in New York? Have you ever been to New York?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Bro, do you know how often people speak different languages in New York? I'm from Connecticut.
No. But there's a difference between speaking the language, like a person. Let me tell you something. People that only speak fluent, just speak native Spanish, they're gonna bring a translator to you. They're not just gonna start outright talking to you in Spanish, and that's what he's basically trying to make the parallel.
Like you in the Bronx,
No,
where they'll
no,
speak Spanish to you and not even care.
no. What I'm saying is, you're not gonna walk down the street in Times Square and if somebody starts speaking Polish to you, you're like, oh, why? Like, where's your translator or where's something? You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, let me see. We're trying to figure out how to do it because we got places to go and people to see. That's why I said Paris is very similar in terms of New York, but I just think it's a little bit more flyer, and it's easier to me to make friends there. Like I'm not gonna say I didn't have any issues because I had an Airbnb and the person said they were like they didn't give the best review, and then they edited the review. So instead of giving me like 3 stars, they gave me 4 stars. So they realized they kind of being like an ass. But then, like, I'm not saying that Paris is not perfect. They do have people that are cold and can be a little jerkish, right?
I wanna bring in say your final point. Say as well. Say your final point.
Yeah, I wanted to say one of what gave me a great impression is that I dated during the pandemic. I dated a girl that was from her parents were from Cape Verde, but she was from Paris. One of the best experience I've had dating a woman for like the couple of months that we were dating, and she wanted me to come.
Did it cut off or am I tripping?
Oh,
Nope.
no. You hear me? I
Nope.
said I wanted to say I'm almost done. She wanted me to come meet her parents, but at the time I was in school. But low key, sometimes I was in 2020, and I was in relationships after that. Low key, sometimes I regret that because I'm like, damn, I could have probably been like married with kids, living in Paris, just chilling and living the life. But you know, things happen.
You met her in Cape Verde in person.
No,
when you were in France.
No, it's crazy. I met her in New York because it was during the pandemic, so a lot of things were shut down. So I was just doing like DoorDash deliveries, and I saw her. I just cold approached her, and we went on a couple of dates, and we started dating and whatnot. And she's like, "Oh, I want you to come to Paris and meet my family," but I was like, I can't because I'm in school. I can't take off for that time, But I kind of regret that because who knows? Like, I would have met her family to figure out a way to get me a visa. And I'd probably been living in Paris right now with like 1 kid or something. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Hold that thought there. I also want to talk about the 5 million stuff as well. Let me bring in Dems. What's up, Dems? You good, bro? Been a minute, brother. How are you?
What's up, bro? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. How are you, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just sorry I've been away. Been too excited about the World Cup. It's all good.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. So welcome, Dems. What are your thoughts on the live stream topic, bro? Or what do you want to chime in on?
On the live stream topic. Honestly, based on my experience, I'd say looks and personality go hand in hand for the money. Because if you're gonna date a chick based on your money, you might as well just leave her because she's a materialistic chick or a gold digger, to put it lightly. Yeah, but in terms of if you're asking me how would I rank it, I say looks and personality first, then money, because the women have to be attracted to you in order to interact with you.
I disagree.
Okay, tell me why is that, James? Why do you disagree? Why is that?
So you ever hear about how women are when they are crazy about you?
Yeah.
When they're retarded, and that's all women. There is a kind of guy out there. There's a guy. Well, I'm not going to say guy. There is a guy out there that can make any woman in the world like that. Even Dua Lipa, who's married and very much into her husband, you could tell she liked that dude. Okay? You can still be so incredible personality-wise and look not even as good as he doesn't. There's not much about him, just a basic guy that can still have her turn over there, breaking her neck to check you out. That's personality. Looks can do that, but looks is getting her that interested in you. The prime Brad Pitt. Not saying his looks, it's just like that's what his looks does. It's not his personality. Every woman who's ever dated him say he's a lousy, lazy piece of crap. He's a horrible personality. He's got money, so Brad Pitt's got looks and money. Okay? But it's not really his money, it's his looks. But they don't like him. They're not crazy about him like that. It's just if they haven't gotten close to him, they're going to feel that way because he's also famous. That's another factor, by the way. Fame. So looks supersede all of that. Because if you got all guys who look exactly the same, okay, but one looks better than the rest of them, and another has the greatest personality, and another has wealth, okay, the one that's going to have her breaking her neck to get to you is the one with the personality because you got inside of her brain. We all know that there's men with a bunch of money that has a girl cheating on him with cheating on him with a guy that's got this thug personality that really appeals to her. She can't stop thinking about him because of the way he treats her, because of the way he got into her brain. And we got guys who look that good as the prime Brad Pitt, who still got a guy that she can't really stop thinking about. If Brad Pitt got a weird personality, he's like a weird dude. He's wiry or whatever. That personality is going to win over both of them. She will cheat on him with those guys. Okay? Now, the guy with the personality, do you really see her cheating on the guy with the personality with a guy just because he looks good? Or a guy because he's got money? Okay? If he's got into her brain, she ain't going to do that.
I don't agree.
You guys who take off with that. I know you got a whole lot to say.
I don't really agree.
I feel like me personally, I'm gonna go with looks because I feel like them said like the woman like who likes you, right? Like if you're gonna date a woman, like you have to be physically attracted to each other, looks wise. Because let's say for example, right, you want to marry a chick, right? You want to like when you marry her, right? This is a woman that you're going to be smashing multiple times a week. Let's keep it real. Are you going to be with a woman that you're not attracted to physically, and you're smashing her? At some point in time, you'll be like, I just can't do no more, bro. I don't really rock with her physically. I'm forcing myself to actually smash her, and I feel like it's also the same for women as well, right? You're going to be smashing her, and if she finds you attractive, she's a happy woman. If she doesn't, eventually it will come out, right? So I just feel like looks are just everything right now, man. In 2026, I think it's looks number one. Then
it's the culture. It's the culture. Honestly, I apologize. I'm gonna cut you off. I had to say it's the clavicular, Love Island, Kings at 6'8". Yeah, your dad didn't have to be 6'8" with a jawline to get with your mother, right? I'm not trying to dish your dad, but I'm sure he probably wasn't the tallest dude. He probably had a receding hairline by the time you were born. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to be this because of Instagram too, right? Women are seeing women are just followers. So if the culture pushes, yeah, you shouldn't look for a man with looks, then they're like, oh yeah, I need a man to look this way. Like your grandmother wasn't saying that she needed a 6'4" dude, or else she's settling, right? Or your grandmother's generation wasn't saying, oh, all the men are chopped. Like they weren't saying that. They may have said that, but they weren't like expecting to find these extremely attractive men. Like that's not even supposed to be what we're for. I'm not saying that men have to be ugly or women have to settle for ugly men, but there's a threshold. Now it's like with these women, because people always talk about how corn and adult movies have like fried men's brain. No, it's really Instagram, because women believe they deserve every a dude that's from Love Island, like 12% body fat, and he's supposed to have this jawlines, was 6'3", 6'4", and they all expect to have that. But it's like, okay, what does your dad look like? Your dad is probably like 5'8", 5'9". When he met your mom, he probably wasn't even in the best shape. And by the time you were born, he had a pot belly, but she still stayed with him. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? It's the culture. And I'm gonna say, if the culture put the reason, another thing too, people don't, especially in America, people don't have economic stability. So right, so looks maxing is just a cope for the fact that you can't have a family. So okay, I'm gonna beautify myself. It's a, you ever, if you're familiar with the mouse utopia, that's what happened. Like when the guys couldn't compete for the woman, I mean for the mouse, for the female mice, they just started they focused on beautifying themselves, and then their birth rate just dropped dramatically. So yeah, yeah. Because
Okay.
you think about it, Clavicula couldn't do nothing in Paris. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it because it's about people are not on this westernized, vapid, no personality, just going on looks type of thing. Like in America, if you go to Miami, all you have to do is wear a tank top, have some muscles, and walk around with a camera, and there'll be women approaching you. Why? Because they think, oh, this guy looks halfway decent. He must be an influencer. People in Paris don't give a hell about an influencer. How many famous French influencers you know? Social media influencers? There's none. That's only an American thing, really.
So okay, so it's on a country by country basis, based on what that country values. In France, they value other things other than money and looks, whereas in America, definitely looks number one, then money, then personality.
Right.
Okay, I agree. Okay, so now based on that particular context there, let's talk about passport bro countries. So I'll give you the top 5 passport countries, right? And we're going to break down what matters, whether it's looks, money, or personality. I would say Colombia is in the top 5. Definitely Philippines, definitely Thailand, definitely Japan, and definitely Brazil. I would say those are the top 5 passport countries. Let's start with Brazil. Okay, I think James, definitely you've been Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, potentially as well. So for those who have been to Brazil, right, what matters most from 1 to 3? Is it looks? Is it personality, or is it money? Start off with James.
Personality.
It's if I were to give it a percentage, it's maybe like 70 personality, 30% looks. Because the reason why, and it's not with Brazilian women, it's different. Because Brazilian women, they're gonna be in shape. So it's like, okay, at least be lean. You don't gotta be them, like you don't gotta be super packed, 6-packed out, but at least look like decent. You know what I mean? In Brazil, you can easily get a girl in Brazil. Just have a decent personality, and you'll be fine.
Hey, whoa. Do not say it's easy to get girls in Brazil.
It is.
And I don't say it on the internet. That hurts us. Do you understand?
Well,
I'm trying to discipline you right now. That's not a good thing for us to be doing.
To be honest with you, but I'll say this though. A part of having a personality is being adaptable and humble, which, as you can see, James, you've been in Germany for almost as long as I've been alive, low key, right? Half of my lifetime. Most Americans cannot adapt especially if a place doesn't speak English. 95% of people in Brazil speak Portuguese, and of the 5% that do, only like 1% are fluent. So most people, I've been studying Portuguese since September. Most guys are not gonna cut it out in Brazil because they don't speak the language and they don't even want to try. Right. And then of course that goes into your personality, being stubborn, being rigid. That's also not not wanting to learn a language is part of being rigid and being set in your ways, which most Americans are. They think, oh, why do I have to speak English? I mean, why do I have to speak another language? They should learn my language because we have the money. It's like, no. You're in another person's country. Learn their language and you'll impress people by how people already have a bad perception about Americans, thinking that we're arrogant. So the mere fact that you went and tried to learn someone else's other language, they'll be impressed. Like, wow, this American took time out of his whatever he was doing to learn my language. I wonder what he must be different from the typical Americans that I meet that just come straight to me and start talking English and get annoyed when I don't know English. You know what I mean? So
You want to know what's crazy? Our women are backwards. They like it when you could barely speak English and you only speak another language.
Right. But a lot of that's programming. I always
Now-
tell people, if you know Portuguese, Spanish, and French, you unlock the holy trinity of sexy woman. Like it ain't no woman that you can bag all all types of fine women if you know them 3 languages.
I definitely agree. Yeah, because a lot of countries speak those languages, and I will touch upon the other people countries as well. I just want to talk about this comment here. Shout out to Jam. What's up, Jam? I'll bring you in a minute, right? How many people have 4 to 5 million? So James mentioned how like 5 million is big money league, right? But the question is, James and brothers in the chat, how many people realistically are going to make 5 million or have that at once? It's possible to make 5 million over your lifetime, right? No more employment, etc., investments, but having that at once, right, to give you leverage in the dating scene, unless you got a very successful business, unless you're a sports person, unless you got lucky with some investments, man, most people ain't gonna have 5 million at once, James, right? And I feel like that's too much, bro. 5 million. I feel like even like 500,000 is probably enough to even give you some leverage abroad. Not in America, bro. But
leverage. Well, I know it's a show, but just let me do this one. I gotta come in on this one. Leverage is one, okay, but I'm talking about. I was saying you're done. You're good money, which means everything is set and you're good. You don't need nobody. You don't need nothing. Everything is in check. All aspects, every single box checked. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Now,
fair enough.
$500,000, you put that in anybody's pocket. First, you got to get them financially savvy. Then you give them the $500,000. Because if you get $500,000 to someone's not financially savvy, you know what happens. You're a numbers guy. You're too smart for that one, IP. You know.
Facts,
you
bro,
know.
I feel like 500K, like if you know how to use that money properly, I think that will give you leverage in the dating market as well, particularly in like low cost of country living. Even like putting 500K into like your savings account, like that pays you interest, like that's probably around $500 a month, right? Around that mark. That's even enough for dates, bro. Taking her out, blah blah blah. I mean, like, this is why, like, I preach geo arbitrage. Like, the key right now, actually, for freedom is earning money in the Western currency, in a Western country, and spending it abroad while it's working for you back home. That's a key way to freedom right now. I'm gonna bring in Jam right now. I know Jam got a lot to say about looks, money, personality, right? What's up, Jam? You good, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Perfect, man. Welcome, Jam. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. So, Mr. Jam, what are you going with, bro? Like in modern dating, is it looks number one? Is it money number one? Or is it personality number one? And do you think it's based on what country you're in? Certain cultures value money, other cultures value personality. But break it down for us, Jam.
All right, yeah. So this is a complicated endeavor, right? So the first thing is it does matter where you are, right? So like when the person was talking about France versus England or Americas, right? It is going to matter where you are, but in general, right, the way it works is provisioning. In other words, money, right? First, then looks, then like alpha characteristics, like being masculine, and then last is going to be personality, right? Now, things can change based on those stats, but that's generally how it's going to be. So, like, for example, we talk about Brazil. I lived in Brazil for a year plus, right? You don't need to be the best looking guy. Because when you go there, right, you're already, I mean, just from your foreign status, you're already gonna be like one of the more wealthier people, right? So the money aspect does, I mean, let's just be real, the money aspect does play a part, right, when you go there because you're already considered high class, right? And so you don't have to worry about looks as much because you're not leveraging so much your looks, you're leveraging, the whole total package, right? But in places like America or like in the UK, right, money still matters. Money still talks. The thing is, it's a lot harder. It's kind of like with the guy who just super chatted earlier. He's like, how many people have 4 to 5 mil? I actually agree with James on this because he's pretty much saying like once you reach 4 to 5 mil status, you put that in a savings account, right? Then you can get 100 to 150K and still keep the principal and then just coast on life. So I see why he's saying the whole 4 to 5 mil because half a million is not going to do that for you. You know what I mean? Like if you put on a high yield savings account, 2%, half a mil, we're talking about what? Let me do the math. What, like 5,000 a year, something like that, right? If it's 1%. To 10,000. That's not enough to live off of. So I understand why James is saying, oh, 4 to 5 mil. He's saying if you're being super conservative, like you're not even putting it in the S&P, you're just putting in a high interest savings account. But if we're talking about 1 to 2% a year, right, that's going to be 10 to 20,000 per mil. So if you have 4 or 5 mil, you'll have 100K
Yeah.
just living off the principal. So I understand where James is going there.
Can I agree with him and I hear you, but I just want to add some nuance to this. That is absolutely true what you said. However, in America right now, even with inflation, adjusted for inflation, right now to retire, all you need is about 2.2 ish million, right? To retire. That accounts for like 60K, about roughly 60K a year for like the next 20 years, right? Now
I mean, sure. If you're talking about spending the principal, then yeah. But the thing is, you're always playing a risk with that. Like, what if you live long, right? You know what I mean? So most people don't want to spend the principal. Most
but
people want to keep that in the bank account, and they want to live off their
but
interest, like they're
but
saving. They don't actually want to go into the principal.
but that's what I'm saying. Now that's in America. You can if you have a million right now, you can move to Vietnam and like you said, put in a savings account and not have to work another day in your life. You
I'm
same
in
thing
Vietnam right now, bro.
in
So I know what you're talking about. Believe me, I know what you're talking about. I'm just
and
saying that's why he's. I'm just giving context to the statement. I know that you don't need. I would say 1 to 2 mil.
right.
Because yeah, to live, especially if you put in the S&P. But the problem is sometimes the S&P goes down a lot, and maybe people don't want to risk it. So if you're trying to be super conservative, and you're talking about a high interest savings account, then I understand why you have the higher principal because the lower the risk, the higher amount of principal you're going to need in order to live up the interest. So I'm just giving context because I know some people might think that number is wild, right? But it actually isn't as wild as it seems.
Not
To
to
be honest with you.
I'll be right back. I got some food. Hold on one second.
Hold on for that as well. Let me bring in Passport Creed. And what's up, Passport Creed? You good, bro?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up? Yeah, I've been watching like the last 2 minutes. So could you give me like a little rundown on what the title?
Yeah, but do you mind getting closer to your mic as well? Your volume's a bit low. But the theme is what matters most to modern dating? Is it money? Is it looks? Or is it personality?
Okay, can you hear me a little better now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Thank you.
Okay. Well, all roads lead back to money because looks can only get you so far, status can get you so far, but the cheat code to all of that is money
Mm,
because you know we're primarily on this panel all travelers. You know, if you were famous, I mean, yeah, that's gonna open some doors. If you were, I guess, a hot Chad or whatever hot guy that you want to picture, that one could open store doors. But the same average guy with Jeff Bezos' money could get in that same. He might have to pay a little bit more, but he still can get in those same doors, same rooms if he has those funds. So I'm always gonna go back to money, and then everything else can kind of fall where they may. But obviously, if you have two out of the three, or 3 out of the 3, you're a unicorn. Or if you have 2 out of the 3, you're still good. But if you only could pick one, money.
Interesting. And how much money is needed, bro? And thing is, okay, that's the first question, Chiba. How much money is needed, brother? And how do you portray to a woman that you have money? 'Cause if you say money is important, bro, then there's got to be some way for you to actually show a woman you have money without telling her how much money you have in the bank. So 2 questions in one, bro.
I would say lifestyle.
Okay.
What's the first question? I mean,
The first question is, brother. The first question is, how much money do you need, Mister Passport Creed?
in today's market,
Yes, please.
in today's market, I would say that a guy dating to where he could date and still be functional and build, it got to be at least 120 or more. And that's average to above average. That's average to above average. Now, obviously, 500K or better, you're good across the board. But for a functional average to above average guy that needs a minimum 120. I'm in South Florida, so maybe because that's how Florida is stacked up. So anything less than 120 or 100, you're I'm not saying struggling, but you gotta make more cost cutting decisions.
Can I
Okay.
say something real quick?
Yeah.
It would depend on lifestyle. For example, in America, if you making 60, 70K, you can't go eat out every single day,
That was what I was just about to say.
right? However, if you make 60 USD in Brazil, even in Rio, you'll be fine if you eat out 3 or 4 times a week. I was gonna also say, because I'm trying to move to Brazil in the next 6 to 8 months, God willing. One of the requirements financially to move there is you have to have at least $18,000 saved, or you have to be able to make sure that you can make $2,000 a month, and that's relatively easy, right? In terms of making the money. Now, to figure out how to make the money outside of the country is one thing, but to do that, if you telling me if you can make 4K, which amounts to like 4K a month, which is roughly around 50K a year, like you could live a good life. You can be in a place like Leblon or Ipanema and have money to spare, because here's the thing, I'm in a lot of Brazilian WhatsApp groups. I have all the Brazilian rental apps. You can get a place for under $1,000 with like a nice view, and that's just in Rio. If you go, Rio is like very expensive. It's more expensive than the other places. If you go to a place like Salvador Bahia or Florianopolis, you can get a 2 bedroom with like looks like a hotel, showing the side of the sea. Like you can live good, right? So I think it's about what they call lifestyle creep. Like people say, oh, you need a bunch of money to move. Like not necessarily. Like think about it. I was watching this white YouTuber. He said avocado there costs like 50 cents in Mexico, right? Avocado here is like $3. Bro, a pack of grapes in New York is like $9, bro. Do you know how depressing that is? And I love fruits. Like I'm Caribbean, right? Like that's depressing. But if you go to a place like South America, bro, like you don't need to eat every single day. You could have some fruits, you can have some smoothie, you know what I mean? Like, and just make sure that you watch your weight and you'll be good. Like you can live off of like 3K, 4K in Rio and be fine, you know. If you wanted to have a family, maybe you might have to make like a 1K or 2K extra, but you'll be all right. Same thing in Portugal too. Their rent is like the most expensive rent I've seen is like 1,500, 1,600 for 1 bedroom. That's the most expensive, and you're living in like the most ideal spot. But in other places, it's like $900, $800 USD.
I want to push back. I want to push back here, right? Because I again, like, tell me if you disagree or agree with me, brothers. Right? How is looks not the number one factor in dating? Once again, right? Okay, let's say, right. Once again, right? You're in a relationship with a woman, right? Okay, and we know, and I feel like a lot of men are ignoring just how important SCX is. we're all mature men here, living with your girl, right? You can't tell me that, oh, your personality and money is going to keep her, right? This is a chick that you're going to be smashing multiple times a week. And when you smash a chick, right, or a chick smashes you as a man, there's a physical attraction there, right? She wants your body touching her, just keeping it PG, right? And to have that happening, right, you have to be attracted to each other, okay? And you're telling me that looks don't matter? I mean, like, or money and personality is going to make her attracted towards you in the bedroom? Let's keep it a buck, bros. Like,
No,
are we coping here?
No, brother,
sorry.
brother.
Go on, Jam. Yeah. Come on, bro.
But what I was
You
going
go,
to say
Jam.
was that So to keep up with your analogy, right? No, you're absolutely right. Looks do matter, but it's really more about like the magnitude, like how good looking do you need to be before you have diminishing returns, right? So to keep the analogy, right, you're talking about the whole women thing. Well, we all been in a situation, right, where you're with a hot woman, but she's terrible to be with. She's really annoying. You're only really tolerating her because she looks good, right? Versus you with another girl, right? She might not be as hot, right? But she has wifey characteristics. She makes up in other ways. And then you personally choose that girl because she's way more feminine, right? Submissive, docile, makes your life easier, even if she's not as good looking versus the good looking girl, right? So that's the same thing here with the men. So obviously you need to have some sort of, the girl needs to have some sort of interest in you. You can't be a fat slob, right? I mean, if that's what you're trying to say. But the thing is, right, do you need to be like, for example, in America where you have to be essentially S-tier model status, six pack, tall, jizzle, what's it called, hairline, jizzle jawline. Always make sure that you're fresh, all that stuff. No, you don't have to do that in Brazil. You just don't be a slob, right? Don't be a slob, and then your other characteristics can play out, like your personality, right, your charisma, etc. See, so the thing is, right, depending on where you're at, right, the threshold for looks, right, will either be higher or lower. In America, it's really high. You need to be top tier in order to do well, right? But in other places, like for example in Brazil, right, you don't necessarily need to be the most. Although I do think Brazil, especially Rio, because I was there for a whole year, I do think they have a pretty high looks threshold because people there love to work out. So you have to be in shape. That's something you have to be in
right.
shape for. But in general, right, like I said, certain places it's going to have a higher and lower looks threshold. So just like in the analogy that you have with the girl, right, you have to be attracted to the girl, obviously, right, but you don't need, right, who like Tyler, right, in order for you to be like, oh, I'm willing to settle down. A girl can be, average to above average, and if she has really good personality characteristics, she treats you good, right, that's enough for you. It's the same way for the woman, depending on what country you're going to. If that makes sense, IP.
And you got to understand too,
Feel you.
because we're in such a deficit.
What the?
And
Okay.
also IP. I think that you're viewing you're considering the point to a female lens. To a guy lens. Us guys, we view women specifically like visual creatures. So we really pay attention to the look. And I think that you're viewing the same. But you're making the mistake that women think the same as much as us.
Don't
But I
they?
don't.
But you feel like women don't care about looks as much as men do. But they do as well, bro. Let's keep it real, bro.
No, no,
What?
no,
I
no,
think he's saying double standards.
no. They care about looks, but us men, it will be like 80%. So if we like a girl, her looks will do 80% of the work, and then if she's docile and agreeable, it will be the 20%. But if the girl is docile and I don't know how you want her to be, but she doesn't look great, her personality won't compensate the way she looks. But the opposite for a girl, if the girl, but if you are a guy but you don't look like a homeless guy, and you just take care of yourself, you smell good, you have a nice haircut, and you dress well, just the basic minimum to look good, it will be enough for the girl.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I'm not gonna lie, I
I
agree with
wouldn't say
IP.
I wouldn't say that looks are the end all be all which promotes with Passport International is saying. It's not the end all be all, but like with men, we know that it's no clear cut of you can't have all your eggs at one. You got to have a blend of the three to move forward, especially in American dating. Now, overseas is probably the threshold is a little more, it's not as high, but you still need a factor of all of at least 2 out of the 3 or close to 3 out of 3 in America to
I
be able
disagree.
to be able to maintain a woman a long term. Because I mean, obviously, if you don't have none, like
I
a
disagree.
lot of guys that almost done. A lot of guys that travel, they don't speak the language, so they're with a hot woman, but they can't communicate because they don't speak the language. So how that's not gonna be able to maintain itself long term. But if you constantly improve yourself and then you speak the language to build communication, then you can eventually be able to establish a relationship or a good foundation. So if that's what you primarily looking for, but the looks is not the end all be all.
Yeah, I just feel like we're speaking past each other, bro. Like I agree with IP. Like, but the thing is, right, in certain places, right, what IP is saying is not as strong. So in the West, for example, we all agree that having all 3 is best. We all agree that. But we're saying if you can, like if it's like a game, you have to put skill points, right? Where would you get the best cost of return, right? In the US, it's definitely going to be looks because in order for her to care about your money, you need to make a lot of money. Like just making decent money, making $100K a year, right, is not good enough for most women to respect you and submit. So honestly, the best way or the easiest way to get a girl to respect you is to reach the looks requirement. Like if you look really good at her, yeah, then most girls will submit. In America, it's actually easier to reach. I mean, depending if you have the genes or whatever, right? It's actually easier to reach the looks threshold for a girl to submit than it is to make the money threshold. Because in order to make the money threshold, you have to be like making really good money. But in places like Brazil, and like I said, you brother, I'm really happy for you, right? I'm assuming you're getting the digital nomad visa because you talked about the whole 18K and 2K a month. I thought it was 2.5K because when I applied, it was 2.5K, so maybe they lowered it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like in places like Brazil, right, the threshold is better. You could be more of a normal guy, right, and let your personality show because the looks threshold isn't that high over there, right? But if I had to choose one though, I'm not gonna lie, if I had to choose one, I'm choosing looks at first and foremost, bro. Because with looks, right? Like, dude, this is a thing. When you deal with a woman and she's like animalistically attracted to you, bro. Like, there's just like I feel like when it comes to like things like money or status, like the girl is like making like a mental play because she has something to gain, right? But when it comes to like looks, when a girl's just legitimately into you, bro, like it's like she can't even control herself. Like it's not even like her trying to like. It's not even like she's trying to like make like the smart play, like okay, maybe this could happen. She's just in complete lust. You know what I mean? Like kind of how some dudes are, right? When they see a really hot chick, they're just in complete lust. So like honestly, I would say for the most part, right, looks is number one. It's king for both men and women. But it doesn't need to be as high depending on where you are. Part of the reason why we go, it's kind of like arbitrage. Part of the reason why we go to places like Brazil or Vietnam or Thailand or whatever is because we know that you don't need to be a Brad Pitt, right, in order to do well there. But in places like America, and I've never been in the UK, right? Well, not in a long time, right? Since I was an adult, right? Places like there, right? Looks is king. So I agree with IP. Like I don't want to feel like he's being gaslit because IP. I agree with you. Like I don't know. I mean, looks is definitely number one, but it's not the end all be all, right? It's not the end all be all. But I would say this: like if you're short and you're fat, bro, you can have all the personality in the world. You can even have you can even be really rich, but most of these girls are not gonna rock for you. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like if you had none of the other things, right? If you're a good looking homeless dude, bro, you're gonna be able to still bag. I know because I was that guy, right? If you're a short, ugly dude and you're rich, right? Even with a good personality, most girls are just going to tolerate you because of what you can do for them. They're not going to actually like you like that.
Yeah,
Actually,
as
so
long as
now,
as long as that guy know that going in, that okay, obviously she's just here for the money, then he shouldn't be able to get bamboozled or or destroyed for the most part.
let me now throw this out here, right? And this is a question to everyone. I want everyone to answer, right? Now, let's say a magic genie came up to you one day in the middle of the night, right?
Who?
Winning a magic genie, like some sort of guy that will grant your wishes for you, like in some sort of Disney movie,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And he says to you, right, okay, like I can make you the most good-looking guy in the history of the world, or I can grant you $5 million, or I can make you the most funniest guy, or I can make you the guy with the best personality in the world for you to get a woman, right? Which one are you picking, brothers, that will you think will help you get a woman first? That is it the $5 million? Is it the best looking guy in the world, or the best personality in the world? Let's go with Obi first, brother. What are you picking? And be real with me, bro.
I still disagree with UIP and I don't know your name, but S, because I will pick because I'm still thinking about Europe, dating in Europe. So I will say personality, because the thing that look will just get you in the door. So the girl will notice you, but your looks cannot keep the girl for a long-term relationship. And the way she will be attracted to you, it will be how you move with her, how you interact with her. So it will be your personality. So if you're assertive, dominant, it depends what she likes. But for look, what I was saying is that you just need to be presentable. You don't need to be like a top tier model. And most of the guys, if they do the work, they can be presentable in a good way. But you don't have to. You need to look like a model. So looks will just get you in the door, but it won't help you to keep. What will make you to keep the girl is your personality, because she will mostly interact with you through your way of being. That's what I would say.
Okay, fair enough. Obi chose personality. Before I go on to James, right? Brothers in the live stream chat. Question for you as well. Number one, if you want looks. Number two, if you want the money. Number three, if you want personality. So type your answers in the live stream chat, brothers. We've got 40 people watching. Let's see what y'all would choose. Number one for looks. Number two for money. Number three for personality. Mr. James, what are you picking, Brian? Tell me why.
It's personality, 100%. Personality is going to get you farther than anything. Most women in the world will be won over with personality. Number one, money doesn't win over women. Money just gets you access to them, and that's not winning them over. You don't have them. Their brains are not psyched out about you. Their hearts are not psyched out about you. They don't really care about you. And if you ask who gets cheated on more in the world, or the United States, France and England, okay, is it men who look good, men who have money, or men who have amazing personalities? Who do you think gets cheated on more?
Men with money.
Right. Pretty boys get cheated on all the time by ugly dudes with the personality. It happens
Okay.
all the time. All the time. That should tell you a lot.
Okay. Thank you, James. Azra, what are you picking, bro?
Apologies. I had pizza at my door. Somebody's yelling at the guy. I had food at my apartment. I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of America, I would say personality.
Oh.
I think America, that's why a lot of people are having so many issues with dating and relationships, because they're meeting people solely based on what they desire, but then they realize that that person has the personality of a piece of driftwood. So when you don't have it was not normal, right? So we didn't have this much access, particularly women didn't have this much access to like the top 5% of good looking guys, right? Like their grandmothers and mothers and whoever else didn't have this access to like the most desirable looking men, right? Or where they had the plethora. But now it's like or they can't connect with those dudes, or they struggle to date those dudes because okay, that dude didn't have to develop a personality, and because all you focused on for the majority of women is looks, then he's like, damn, I don't got to do anything. I don't got to take you out on dates. I don't got to approach. Why women complain and men don't approach? It's like, okay, if I'm good looking enough, I know you're going to be thirsting, chasing after me. And that's really a product of feminism, right? Feminism pushes woman's sexual liberation. Therefore, that means that you can be excessive in your desires, right? Your grandmother wasn't desiring that your grandfather have a six pack to date him. And people say, oh, well, back then they weren't focused on, you had to find a man that made money. It was like, yeah, but they still had some choice in whether they liked the guy or not, right? I'm not saying that you can't tell me that every single woman back in the day didn't like her husband. There's some, they had their issues, but they liked the dude, right? And I've always heard, it's funny, people say, like they said, if my dad was in this dating era, he'd probably be an incel. Which it's funny, but it's kind of true because it's like the criteria of what people want. I'll give you an example, and not to sound long-winded. You'll never hear in another country a woman that is 5'2" meeting a guy that's 5'9" and saying, "Oh, you're not tall enough." That's stupid. You would never. That's unheard of. Go anywhere else in the world, if a woman is 5'1", 5'2", she's not demanding that the guy be 6 feet. As long as he's taller than her, they're fine, right? Especially in South America, no one is crazy tall like that. So if you're just average height, like in terms of what American height is, then you'll be fine. I think it's just an American thing. The culture pushes looks. Like I said, Love Island, looks. Instagram, clavicular, right? Looks maxing. But a lot of people don't have no personality here. Like if you tell them, hey, what's your hobby? They'll tell you, oh, they watch some little corny, dumb, vapid show, American show. They don't have nothing going on, but they'll tell you the best skincare routine. They'll tell you what to do to have this V-cut taper, how to get to 12% body fat. But if you tell them, hey, let's have a conversation about just life in general, they couldn't have that with you, especially the younger generation.
Okay, thank you as well. Dems, what are you going with, bro? Interested in hearing your answer, Demswood.
So personality, looks, or money. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to choose. Do I have to put one, or can I choose two?
You gotta pick one, bro. Remember, a genie is gonna give you the wish you want. Either $5 million, or the best personality in the world, or make you the best looking guy in the world, bro. Literally.
Well, personality, man.
Damn.
Yes.
Looks are cool. Looks are cool. That's why every one of us prioritize physical fitness. But you can't be physically fit and have the personality of someone who's dry, man. No, I'm gonna have to go with personality. Because personality will keep a woman interested in you. Yeah, you're good looking, but what's the point of being good looking if you're dry?
Thank you.
Wow, this is incredible.
Thank you.
You have to deep it, man. Like, you smashed her because you're physically attractive, but you're not keeping her. She's not interested in you because you have no character.
Wow. So a lot of dudes are happy looking. Let's say there's some dudes on this earth, right? Okay, actually, hypothetically speaking, let's say Obi, James, Dems, right, and Ezra. So far, they pick personality, right? Let's say they all look like Shrek. Right, I'm just putting that out there, right? You're telling me, brothers, right? You can look like Shrek, right? But as long as you have the best personality, it's all good in the hood, bro. Man, y'all crazy, man.
IP, this is the reason why I thought the question was flawed, right? Because like I'm thinking they're answering based off like if I am how I am now, what would I max out? You know what I mean? Because if you're asking me this, right? Between looks, personality, and money. And I'm keeping everything I am right now. Well, I think I look pretty good, and I think my personality is pretty good as well. So, so I would just choose to increase my bank account. But what I think the question should be is, you max out one, but you're bottom tiering the other two. That's the real question, right? Would you rather be good looking but you broke and your personality is like clavicular, like it's like dead like a fish? Would you rather be that, or would you rather be rich but you look like Shrek and your personality is trash too, right? Or would you have a great personality but you look like trash, and then you look like Shrek and you're also poor? Between those
Okay.
three, I'm choosing
Mm.
to be the broke, good looking dude. I think that's the real
So
question. But if you ask me
hold
how I
on,
am
Jam.
right now, I'm choosing money.
So hold on, right? So that'll be part two. Part two will be the Shrek part. I'm gonna throw Shrek in the question here, and I want to see if Ob, James, and Dems will actually say personality, and let's say they look like Shrek. That'll be part two. Let me go on to Mr. Jam. So Jam, right? What are you picking? So as you are right now, Genie comes to you in the middle of the night. Hey Jam, okay, I can give you $5 million, or I can make you the best looking guy in the entire world, or I can make you the guy with the best personality in the entire world. What are you picking, Jam? And tell me why, bro.
Okay, if it's only 5 mil, then I'm choosing the looks, right? But if it's more than that, if we're talking about like FU money, right, then I'm choosing the money, right? Because I think being the good looking guy in the world, I'd make more than 5 mil. So, being the best looking guy in the world. So, but if we're talking about FU money, like Bill Gates money, right, then I'm choosing the money. But this is how I am, right? However, if we're talking about, like I said before, looking like Shrek, then I'm definitely choosing the looks. Like I'd rather have the looks, right, and be bottom tier in the other two than be bottom tier in any other combination. I'd rather have that.
Okay, thank you, Jam. Mr. Passport Creed, what are you picking, bro, and why?
In the words of Randy Moss, straight cash homie. Because the way I look right now, for the most part, I'm an average looking guy. I accept that. Could I look better? Of course. But I'm an average looking guy. I already have a personality. Is it for everybody? No. So I accept that. But if that genie pops up over my bed and tell me if I can have anything, it's going to be the money. Because the $5 million, I can literally go and retire overseas in Thailand or wherever, and just kind of just live off the interest, depending on where I got to go, and then I'm good across the board. But since a lot of guys on the panel chose personality, that's a telltale sign that personality is pretty much what you can kind of fix right now without, you don't really need a genie for that, because your personality is your personality, with some minor tweaks. So that's kind of an eye-opening thing that majority of the panel picked personality.
That's because you gotta hear people out. You want to hear my part out.
Hey, you guys hear me?
James, Mr. Dorian, who are you picking, bro?
Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear, bro.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, IP.
Can y'all hear me?
James, you dropped off. You dropped off there a bit, James. But I'll come at you after, James. You dropped off there. Go on, Dorian.
All right. Yeah, I'm just putting my input in. This is a great conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna say, man, I think it's my opinion. I would pick I would pick looks and a combination of personality, because and it depends on where you at. Somebody mentioned that earlier, but yeah, if I had the choice, man, I'll pick looks and personality. Yeah, and money will be a factor, but listen, if I got looks and personality, I'll figure it out. No matter where
No,
you are in the world.
but you got to pick one. You can't pick both. You can't pick two, bro. It's either
Okay, pick two?
looks.
Oh,
No, you
okay.
can't pick two. Either looks, personality, or money. Just one.
Whew, man. Dang. And Uncle pick.
Brother, just pick one. One.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the looks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the looks. So the simple fact is, looks does matter. I just feel like looks does matter. Just like like wherever you go in the world, because I've seen videos on the internet saying that see Russian girls and whatnot, even like, even though they like money too, but they said like man, you have to go and look good. Like I've ever heard him say, like, we'll go for black guys, but he has to look good for us
Okay.
to, yep, or for us to
So
even like him.
so I'm gonna say my part, right? I'm gonna keep a buck with you, with all your brothers, right? I'm gonna go for looks. I'm sorry. I feel like if I can be made the best looking guy in the world, okay, that means put me in any country, right? And the woman gonna check for me because I'm that good looking. It's a wrap, okay? Because I feel like personality you can change, right? You can become a more funny person, or you can become like a more extrovert if you put yourself out there, but you can't change your look. And if a genie came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm gonna make you IP the best looking guy in the world," man, like, okay, I got the looks, I've changed my personality, okay, and I've also right, and I'm also, let's say I'm earning, let's say 40K a year living in Brazil, bruh. That is, life is good, man. Life is good. Chiseled jawline, sharp features, sharp jaw, right? Asymmetrical face. Like I'm telling you, like I feel like, especially with the world becoming more B pill, black pill, right? I feel like if you had the looks, you have an easy life, and that could also come with like you being good looking, right? Could get you model contracts, could get you like signing into some films or adverts, blah blah blah. Come on, man, get you the woman of
You're
your
right.
dreams as well. I think looks. I'm gonna go with looks. I'll keep it a buck. Anyone agree, disagree with me on my points?
I
Okay,
disagree.
so if you was able to make yourself the physical specimen unicorn, do you think that
Hmm.
you'll be able to settle down with just one woman? If I guess you're the 1% of looks.
Probably not. Probably not, bro. I'm gonna have my main chick, and I'm gonna let her know, like, hey, like, you're my main chick, but I want to deal with other women as well, and you gotta accept that. If not, you can leave. I'm that guy. I'm the best looking guy in the world. I can get any girl I want. Either you keep me and allow me to have multiple women on the side. If not, you can bounce. I'm gonna give me another chick. Absolutely not. But I'm gonna have multiple chicks, bro. Easily, easily. So all we disagree is gone, bro.
Uh, I need to disagree because uh, having a good look will get you in the door, so you will be noticed by a lot of girls. I don't disagree with that. So if you just want to hook up and sleep with multiple girls, looks, I will put looks in the first position. But the topic was at the beginning was the main characteristic to have a long-term relationship, and uh, you need to have a personality because when I talk about personality, it's not just being funny and make the girl laugh. Is to have is to be a man, with all the attributes that comes with. So to take decision, to be rational, to make her laugh, to be go in bed. So you need to adapt to the girl. So that's what I put into personality, and all these components will make the girl to stay. Because if you're just good looking and you have a bit of personality, the girl will just appreciate you for a short amount of time for your look, and then she will leave. But if you are just decent looking, because when I said looks is not the first position, I don't say that you need to be ugly. But so many guys, they can improve their look if you eat well, if you dress well, if you have a nice haircut. This we can drastically change the way you look, and with your good personality, it will make the girl to stay. But if you just have look and nothing else, the girl will just stay there for a few time, a few moments, and then she will leave. So
Okay.
I still maintain personality.
So now let me throw a spanner in the question, right? Everyone here is uglier than Shrek. I mean that you're so ugly, right? That your skin color ain't even black.
IP.
It's some purple. It's some purple-ish, bro. Like you're so black, it's purple, right?
Yeah, but IP.
And hold on, bro. And let's say like you're so ugly that every time you walk by, babies start crying. Okay, and one day you're in your bedroom, right? You look up to the ceiling. You're angry that, hey, I'm the ugliest guy in history. A genie comes to you and says, hey, okay, I can make you the best looking guy in the entire world, or I can give you $5 million, or I can give you the best personality in the world. I wonder if brothers are going to keep their answers. Because listen, right, this might sound crazy, but a lot of people on this earth right now are uglier than Shrek. I'll just keep it real. I'm just keeping it up, right? It is out there. So, Obi, I'm gonna put you last, bro, because I feel like you might crash out in a minute. Let's go for Dems. Dems Wood, bro.
I'm cool.
You Dems Wood. You were the ugliest guy in history. You are uglier than Shrek. A genie comes in to you. What are you picking, Dems Wood, bro?
Yeah, at this point now, physical attraction is key. I'm choosing looks. It's essentially it boils down to looks, because this is why we go gym. This is why we prioritize physical fitness, because we want to look physically better than we were yesterday. That's why we prioritize physical health. Yeah, now more I think about now. Yeah, personality is cool and all, but if I'm walking down the street and a woman comes up to me because she likes me for how I look, I think, I did a good job in terms of self-improving myself physically. So I'm gonna go with looks.
Okay. Mr. Dorian, where you going with, bro? And tell me why.
If I could go ahead, if you can go, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Most men can go ahead and change like how they look from the jump. It's gonna completely alter your personality, and it's gonna completely alter your reality. Because if you take a good looking guy from the jump, from birth up until he's an adult, he's going to have a completely different experience than the guy who was like completely unattractive and didn't have any experiences growing up. And you can't go back to his experience or whatnot as a man. So I'd say go ahead, looks or whatnot, like, and just change it because my personality is going to be way different. I'm gonna have a different social life. And eventually those social experiences or whatnot's going to lead me to, economic opportunities, economic growth. We don't talk about that enough. Social proof and social status will bring you up in different echelons in life uh, that can definitely go ahead and benefit you. Just look at Jeremy Meeks, for example. I mean, just keeping it real. Um, if you're a guy who looks and get that chance in the social circle, yeah, you'll move up greatly, especially in the West.
Sorry. Thank you, Dorian.
Yeah.
Jam, where you going with, bro?
You already know, bro. I'm going with looks.
Mr. Obi, where you going with, bro?
Yeah, but IP, you just
Come on, Obi. You gotta pick one, bro. No, brother. I'm not going to say, brother. There's literally dudes right now, bro. That are really that ugly, bro. But it's not rare, bro. But there is dudes that just don't have the looks, bro. Like,
I agree that there are many out there, but you went to the extreme. You said uglier than Shrek. Come on. It's super rare. You need to be like an handicap to be like that.
But it happens, bro. Okay, but there are dudes out there that are uglier than Shrek, bro. So Obi,
super rare.
You gotta pick one, bro.
You took the main subject and you shift it to the extreme. So now I need to agree. Of course, in this.
Okay, hold on. Obi, I think I understand you. So I'm going to ask you another question, right? I think this is fair, right? If you could have average looks, average personality. No, average looks, average money, but have great personality. Would you prefer that over having average money, exceptional looks, average personality, or a lot of money, average looks, and average personality? Which one would you choose between those three? The other two are average. It's not like zero. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
average. Which one are you choosing?
So average look, average money, but super personality. I will take this one because you still need to keep the girl. Because I think that since the beginning that we are talking, you guys are still referring to get girls. So to get girls, I agree. You need looks first. But if you want to keep the girl, you need personality. You need personality.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking. So, what kind of personality like do you need? Obviously, the Dems with Jam have don't have joined, right? What kind of personality keeps a girl? Is it are you just start maxing, start clowning yourself, like trying to make her laugh 24/7?
Yeah.
At some point in time, that's tiring, bro. Like I ain't got jokes for days. I ain't got jokes for days, bro. Like if I'm a dude that's an introvert, like that plays video games, like I just want to be chill. You're telling me that I can't do that anymore. I gotta like be talkative, make her laugh all the time, bro. So I gotta make her laugh for 50 years, bro, until
No,
we're
but
80, 85, bruh.
no,
I mean, like, go on over to you, brother.
but IP, if you only have look, and as you said, you play video games, you're introvert, the girl will leave. If you can stimulate, because girls they are emotional in a relationship.
Brother, it's
But
impossible to do that 24/7, bro. So you're living with her, right? You can't
no,
make her laugh all the time, bro. It's impossible, bro. There'll be
no,
times
but
where
no, but
like you can't be on that just an accent type, making her laugh all the time, bro. Like,
yeah,
ain't nobody got time for that, bro. Either she with it or shame with it, bro.
yeah, but
Either she with it or yo, bro.
yeah, but IP, you're going to the extreme every time. You don't need to be like a clown or like a funny, stupid guy that just make her life every hours of the day. And I'm not talking about that. And I think I said it earlier. Well, what I mean about personality, you need to adapt to the girl. So what girls want, you need to be a little bit of everything. You need to be a little bit funny, a little bit dominant, a little bit assertive. You need to make a decision. So if you want to plan, I don't know, something in the weekend, you need to be able to make decision. It depends also on your common interest with the girl. So if you go, I don't know, if you both go to the gym, you can, and if you go yourself to the gym, you can coach her. But it's a lot of different things that it just depends on the girl. If the way the girl is, she will find a girl that complete her personality. And
Okay,
this goes above everything because look, if you don't have all these attributes, she will just as I said, she will just be with you for like, or she will say to her friend, oh, I met a nice looking guy, cool. But what else? So many girls complain about this. If you look on TikTok, oh, it looks good, is attractive, but when we need to talk deeper, nothing else. So
okay.
looks we get two girls, but are they gonna stay?
I'm gonna go with okay. Thank you there. Thank you, Jam. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Jam, for calling in. Appreciate you, bro. Over to Dems Wood. Okay, so brothers are saying personality is important, right? But what kind of personality, right, keeps it going in a relationship? So there's a concept called Jester Maxim where you have to make a laugh 24/7, or should you be the guy, the mysterious guy, the Batman type guy, the Bruce Wayne type guy, mysterious, inconsistent communication? Because it comes to a point where trying to make her laugh, trying to keep her mentally stimulated all the time gets tiring, bro. Fire away, Dems.
Yeah, I'm not doing just the maths. I'm not doing all that. That gets exhausting. I believe, yeah, like you said, bro, we have to have that Batman, James Bond personality where we're reserved. We have intellectual conversations with her. We're more ourselves because we're engaging in deep conversations with her. In that way, she'll see, okay, this guy, he's being himself rather than being a caricature of himself. He doesn't need to make me laugh, but I'm interested in him based on his charisma, his charm, and his overall attitude.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay,
I
thank
think
you.
I honestly think we just have to be ourselves instead of just the maxim. Yes, we can have some humor with her, but not all the time. You know that no, we're reserved dudes. We can just be ourselves.
Facts, man. Absolute facts. Let me go over to Dorian. Dorian, what do you think type of personality keeps a girl?
Um, I definitely believe personality definitely will keep the girl, but personality in itself, um, I don't think it could keep. Mm, you can make a lasting imprint on her with your personality, but I don't think it's going to go and be enough to keep her. I don't know, and I mean, especially if you live in. I think it depends on where you live. Where you live is going to be at play here. But I think if you're in the West or whatnot, may I don't know about the West, but maybe overseas, maybe. But I don't think it's going to keep you too long in the West. If you're a fast slob or whatnot, with a because women do care about do care about your looks or whatnot. Eventually, when they show you off to their friend group, that's gonna that I feel like that's gonna immediately disqualify you if they put you in a group chat and it turns out you're obese.
But
So
sorry,
yeah.
IP, I
Hold on
have
there, Obi. Obi, keep that foot there. I'm coming to you after, bro. Jay, what's your thoughts, bro? Personality. What kind of personality should you be in a relationship?
Yeah, so I couldn't hear Dorian at all when he was talking. But yeah, anyways, so for me, the way I'm gonna answer it is you should come as you are. Like she should know your personality before you guys get into a relationship. If you fake it, if you try to portray someone that you're not, you may get her for that time being and for the short term, but eventually your real self is gonna come out. And once she sees that, if she's not used to it, if she hasn't adapted to it, or if she didn't want it originally, then you're not gonna keep her. So come as you are, be yourself. If you get her, then obviously she wanted you for who you were. That's my answer.
Y'all
Okay.
guys can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me.
Uh,
Can you?
I heard you there, Dorian.
Oh,
Over
okay,
to
because he
Obi.
said he couldn't hear me.
Go on, Obi.
but Obi, sorry, IP, I have a question.
Obi.
I have a question. When you talk about looks, is only the facial look or the body structure?
The facial look, bro, literally making you the most handsome guy in the history of the world.
Okay, because me, I was talking about everything. Because so many guys, if they go to the gym and they improve their physical structure without being the most handsome, but just having an average face, they will look good. Because girls, they also look the overall of the guy. Because when girls they talk about look, they talk about charisma, the way the guy behave, how he carries himself, and also if he has a good muscle density. Because I don't think that girls just look purely at the facial aspect, and all this
Yes. Mm.
and all this can be improved if you go to the gym. That's why I say if you're an average looking guy, just present yourself well. Go to the gym, dress well. So many guys think that they're ugly, but they don't present themselves well. They have a bad haircut, They smell bad. They don't have fit clothes. They don't go to the gym. They are skinny. They don't have body density, and this will affect your look. But this can be worked on, even if you have an average face. If you have a good personality, and by personality I mean
Into
what?
the yeah.
Sorry.
That's
No, no.
facts. That's facts.
And yeah, but because I think that also since the beginning we're confusing personality. So I want to make it clear again. When I say personality, is the way you are according to the girl. So let me take an example. It will be more clear. If you find a girl that she's feminine, she's traditional feminine, the opposite that she will want in a man, she will like a man that is dominant, assertive, can take the lead and make decision, and sometimes can be funny. You don't need to play a role all day to be like this. If you're already like this, she will like it. And once a girl also she found a guy that she likes, girl, they're not like us guys. They stick more to the guy that they love. Once a girl love a guy, the guy has imprint on her. No matter if, yeah, the guy has an imprint on her, and if the guy is not the best looking, the imprint that he will have on her is still enough to keep the girl. That's why.
That's true to an extent, but hypergamy is at its highest now with social media. So
But
she may have everything. She may have everything that she wants, but since she gets on Instagram, she sees these other relationships. She sees these other guys. She's like, "Dang, I want that. I could get that," etc. So I agree to an extent, but
yeah, but don't choose that girl.
I mean, you don't know that prior to getting into a relationship. It just kind of happens naturally.
No, you already know if the girl is addicted to social media, because there are so many girls that do not care about social media. There are so many girls that beat their boyfriend into their social environment. So many girls they have like 1,000 followers, or they keep it private. There's so many girls like that don't care about attention, because I think that we are just seeing we're just looking at the surface and not what is inside. And that's why I said that if you have a good personality, this will make you to connect with people in your social environment, so you can make new friends. You can encounter new people. You can enlarge your social group, and this will make you find girls that you couldn't find if you didn't have this ability to connect with people. And in those social environments, you can meet girls that don't care about social media, and there are plenty like this.
Yeah, that's true. I know in France specifically, like, or even in Europe, a lot of the women like they have like 50 followers, no pictures. That's
Yeah,
not a thing in the States. Just about every girl, from the most below average to pretty, everyone has an Instagram following. Everyone is posting on a daily basis. Yeah. Stateside, no, that's not as common compared to what you're talking about.
but Jane, if you think large, if you're a guy and you have like social skills, so you have a good personality, other people will be attracted to your personality. So you can go to social events, you can go to social meetings, and you can showcase this on your social media just organically. It's like a compound effect. That's what I mean. And then if you showcase this organically on Instagram, or I don't know which kind of social network you are, you will egalize yourself with the girl that usually post on social media, because most of the girls on social media, they also look in the guy, if the guy has a social life.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah, you're spreading facts for sure. It's just different. just different societies, and I appreciate your perspective on things.
Let me go to Dorian and Dems. Yeah, want to chime in?
I think I pretty much made it my point or whatnot. So yeah, yeah, I'm pretty much good.
Okay. Anything for you from you, Dems?
Yeah, I still think we just have to be ourselves at the end of the day. Because if we show ourselves from day one, the woman will adapt and she'll have a better understanding of you. Throwing jokes at her 24/7. I don't think that's the way to get a girl interested in you and how to have a developed intrigue about what your ambitions and and your family life and overall who are you as a human being. So I think just being yourself is key when keeping a girl.
Perfect. I want to switch over to France, right? The French part. So over to you, Obi. Obi, so obviously France is a Western country next
Yeah,
to England, right?
yeah,
You're having a great time in France. You obviously other black men too as well. But can we find wifey in France in 2026? If so, where do we go to? Because the French culture is quite similar to the English culture. Um,
yeah,
high body count, partying,
yeah.
feminism. Can we find wifey in France?
Not at all. Not at all. No. I would not recommend friends to find wifey, but if you want to get girls, it's pretty easy. Just be social, because I also think that a lot of guys in the I don't know if I can say red pill movement or manosphere movement. What I have noticed that not many of them are very social. They don't really go outside. They just go to work, have a few friends. They go on dating app and they complain they don't get girl. It's normal. So, but in France, if you're social, if you talk to people, if you if you go outside, if you meet people, you will get girls easily. But to get wifey, no, because we are in the West and feminism is here. It's similar to the UK because I live in both countries and it's similar. But if you want to get wifey, you need to go abroad.
Okay. Now, what about the French islands? Can you find wifey there or no?
I never been. I never been. So you mean like Guadeloupe, Martinique, Réunion?
Yes.
I never been there, so I cannot judge. And no, but it's quite similar still the West. So I
Okay.
wouldn't.
IP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you speak more about your experience in Germany? That's also a Western country, but just the treatment is different. So it's weird, We say Western countries they're tough for black men, but we have countries such as Germany, France, etc., where it's just different.
Yeah.
It's not the norm.
Hold that thought there, Jay. So, Obi, now just a question here, right? So, in terms of like social economic status, right? You're telling me that there's a middle class black men population, black men doing well, making good
Yeah,
money in
exactly.
like in professional jobs in like let's say law, IT, finance, medicine. Yeah.
I wouldn't say law because the law the law field in France is very like traditional. So you will see mostly white people, but you can find black people in nice job like engineers, um, commercial manager. Uh, some of them have their own business. So many of black guys they have their own restaurant. This kind of environment. This kind of job. Sorry. So and there are
Okay.
plenty like this. Yeah, a lot of commercial manager. What else? Yeah, they work in companies like manager position. There are many like this because it's not like in the US where if you come from a poor background, it's going to be hard to get to the middle class. Because in France, it's a social country, so we don't discriminate according to where you come from. So anyone can make it at least at the middle class or upper middle class.
Okay, thank you. So back to your question, Jay. Right, like, I don't know if you not some of my recent streams, but I'm pushing brothers more towards Africa, um, Southeast Asia, and Latin America to an extent, but the top two are Africa and Southeast Asia. Now, Germany is great, but it's still a Western country, and I personally don't feel like white women should are the best choices for black men. In my honest opinion, I feel like the Western countries are great for making money, but you have to like geo arbitrage and go to like Africa, Southeast Asia if you want an Asian chick, Latin America if you want like a hybrid mixed Asian chick, white white woman type hybrid. Because again, it's all culture. Like you want to avoid these kind of places where feminism, Western culture has poisoned them. And Germany is part of it. But yeah, it's great for brothers, but it's still a Western country. And I don't believe that white women should be brothers' number one choice. Anyone agree or disagree with that?
Oh, but IP. I'm going to Berlin next week, so I will, uh, I will give you some intel if you want by message.
Yes, please, bro. That's perfect. Love to
Hey,
see how Berlin is in 2026, bro.
yeah,
Please, yes.
yeah. I really
Yeah,
agree.
I mean,
Yeah,
I agree, but disagree to an extent. Like, I mean, pick any girl that you want, but living. So if we're talking about living in a environment that's going to stretch your money, be the best for your kids when it comes to school and society, yeah, Africa, Southeast Asia, etc. But when it comes to like picking your girl, I don't think you should limit yourself to a region. And if you go to a country, find a girl you connect with, you think she's pretty, etc., choose her, and then move to whatever society you think is best for you and your future family.
I agree.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I can agree with that.
I agree. I agree.
I agree. That's why I think well,
Hey,
Obi, I
IP,
put
I got
my
a quick question for
IG
you.
in the private chat at Obi. So send me a DM when you're in Berlin, bro, on IG, bro. It's in the private
Uh,
chat on the
where's the private
Discord.
chat?
Oh, so here, you see it? You see it? I just put a message there.
I need to be connected.
No, basically, it should be on StreamYard, bro.
Ah, okay,
It
c'est bon.
should
It's all right. C'est bon. Thank you.
that,
go on, Dems.
I want to say controversial. I want to say something controversial, bro. Some
Dems,
brothers.
your audio is a bit muffled. Get closer to your mic, please, bro.
Sorry, it's my son. Can you hear me now?
Much better.
I'm gonna say something controversial, bro. Some brothers
Okay.
aren't. They don't want to go to Africa, bro. Some brothers, and this is including me, bro. I'm not feeling Africa, bro, as a potential destination to find my future spouse, because I've already been to Africa, and I'm not feeling it. They're not there for me, bro.
Yeah, I heard some bad
Wait.
things about Africa.
So hold on, Dorian. So Dems, you're not feeling how the women look, or is it beyond that? Is it mostly based on
Beyond that,
aesthetics, brother?
it's beyond that. I've been to Nigeria. I've been to Ghana. I've been to the Caribbean.
We don't hear you.
We can't hear you too well, Dems.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You say you've been to Nigeria, Ghana. Where else?
I've been to Nigeria. I've been to Ghana, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling West African women. Yes, I know there are plenty of nations in Africa, but my interests are in not only white women, like German women, Ukrainian women, but also Afro-Latinas and Japanese women. If I want to find a sister, I can potentially find her in a South American country. I can find a German sister. I'm not feeling Africa. Some brothers aren't feeling Africa. That's all I have to say.
And to Dem's point, I think some of us, because we grew up in the West, we may be more we may be better connected with black women in these Western countries due to that similar culture, whether positive or negative. But yeah, but to Dem's point, like Africa being a lot more traditional, we're not used to that per se, which may be better for us. But ultimately, we could find sisters in various parts of the world, not just Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's thank you, brother. That's what I want to say because it's
And
it's tricky because I know they're black. I know they're it's the motherland. I get it's the motherland.
another
But
point too, IP, you gotta take it into account. Like if you're going to go ahead and live in Africa too, there's gonna be different. Um, there's going to be, I don't know. I've been hearing about Africa and about like people flying out there, and it's
Is there no one talking
like,
right now? I cannot hear anyone.
can you hear
I
me?
can hear him. I can hear him.
I hear him, bro. It must be just drop out and go back in. It happens sometimes, Jay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like some brothers go ahead and go to Africa. I mean, some people got good experiences, some got bad experiences, but I've been hearing like experiences, brothers getting treated over there, getting treated like a second class citizen at some points, and it's like, and in some cases, it's like, do you want to go here and be treated like an outsider or whatnot, and you
That's
living
right.
over there? It's like,
That,
and it's like if you going to go ahead and get that experience or whatnot, you better off to stay in the West. Like, be honest with
But
you, IP.
thing,
But
that's
thing
very
is,
true.
right?
I
Like,
can't speak for
thing is,
all
that
Africans.
can be anywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
Dorian.
that's
And
true.
I also
That's
like you also want to be like this is why you earn Western money and Western currency. Like that normally happens amongst like lower class people in that country. If you're amongst people of your similar economic background socially, you're living in the high class neighborhoods, you're mingling with the elites, bro. Unlikely they're gonna like do some like look down on you when you're coming with Western money. You're educated, man. Like this is why like you don't want to like. Why would you want to be around low class people in a foreign country?
true.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true.
You left the hood. I'm just saying this point. You left the hood. You left the bad neighborhoods to go to another hoods. Not me, bruv. I want to be amongst the elites, bro.
Right.
I want to be drinking wine amongst high class people, bro. And
Yeah,
they won't be doing no like looking down on you. You're bringing pounds. You're bringing dollars. You're educated, bro.
yeah.
Any country,
And I wouldn't
yeah,
even mind Africa. And be honest with you, yeah, I'm keeping an open mind with Africa too because, um, yeah, there's definitely opportunity there, for growth, for like-minded people and stuff like that too, and the women, yeah, there's some really good, very good looking women over there. I ain't gonna be a lot, happy, and I'm just like you. I like that peanut butter, brown skin tan looking woman over there too. So, yeah, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot for these past couple of weeks about Africa, um, being a place because I maybe it's a certain person experience of what I think you gotta get your own experiences when you're looking abroad too because my experiences might not be the next person's experience when in regards to
absolutely.
Africa. Yeah, so maybe I shouldn't be so close-minded from other people's experiences and just get my own experience.
Also, it's also important, brothers. Like like what makes sense numbers wise dating because like okay like I think I mentioned before, like the darker a woman is, the more opportunities you're gonna get with her, in my honest opinion. The lighter she is, there'll be problems. So for example, like China, Korea, East Asia, they have this whole white worshipping culture. Like you like it's but like we see like it shows us like Philippines, Vietnamese people, darker skinned people, brothers seem to do very well in these darker skinned countries, right?
Yeah,
So why don't you go to Africa, Southeast Asia, Latin America, the darker parts to get your woman there, right? I feel like the lighter woman is, the problems, the harder it is to get her, and you have to move with intention in the next few years, man. Time isn't waiting for no one, you know. Anyone agree or disagree?
no,
But
I
I
agree
think
with you on that, IP. Because you can go ahead and keep on talking about how you're gonna go overseas or whatnot, But time ain't waiting for nobody. It's gonna be 2030. Like, I mean, what you gonna be really waiting on?
Mm.
And
But
IP.
Sorry.
Yeah.
IP.
Yeah.
But have you already been to Africa?
Just Morocco.
But IP, come on, because
So I got a question, IP. Like with the Morocco, are they just like I mean, I know they majority a Muslim Muslimic country, or any
Did
other
you say Muslim? Sorry, brother. Did you say Muslimic country? Is that a
No,
word?
Is it a Muslim?
no.
Muslimic. Is that a word? Muslimic. I never heard that before. Muslimic.
I'm sorry. I just slipped
Do
up.
you mean Islamic?
Yeah,
Shoot,
Islamic. I'm sorry.
Muslimic. That's incredible, bro. Let me type Muslimic.
I
Yeah,
slipped
you
up
guys
on
are
that.
jokers, bro. I was like, is that even? That's hilarious, bro. Muslimic. Yo, carry on, bro. Sorry, man.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm in Islamic. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, I was gonna say like with the majority of the women there, of course they're gonna be Islamic or any woman like open to anything outside of that, or is it just strictly this is
Marriage. I get your question, bro. I'll be honest. If you wanna run through a bunch of chicks, brother, be a degenerate, go to like Europe, go to Sweden, Denmark, European countries. That's their culture, bro. I'm just keeping it real. And the thing is, like, and I don't want like I don't want men in general to like take that kind of culture to foreign countries, because we're running away from that in America and UK. These women have been ran through by different dudes. We don't want to marry women that have used up box. So if you want to have your rocks off and have fun, bro, that's on you. That's not my business. I'm just gonna say go to countries known for that, Germany, Spain, etc., etc. Just don't take that abroad, brother. Please don't, man. Do it in Europe.
Yeah, I'm good anyway. I'm not trying to be a sex tourist anyway. I'm really like, if I'm going to certain places, I'm trying to look for some more like long term. It's not gonna be so much, just to get my rocks off or anything like that. It's just more so trying to find like a conventional woman, because I feel like some of these dudes or whatnot, they really don't really want a conventional woman. They just want access and just to have experiences they missed out on her when they was younger. To be honest with you, IP, they ain't really trying to go. They just really just want the experience that they're not getting in the West. Really, to be honest with you, I feel like for guys like who really want something long term, they want conventional, traditional values and a woman. I feel like they want to get into certain pockets of different countries because you're
Yeah.
just yeah.
Thank you, Dorian. So James, let me ask this, James. Right? Do you feel like brothers should prioritize going after dark skinned women, James, instead of like pale skinned women? I feel like the darker a woman is, like the more chances you get with that community and culture. Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Africa, Brazil, do you feel like Europe and East Asia, China, Japan, Korea, Europe, these are places that should take a step back in our movement? What's your thoughts, James?
Well, I think that focusing on skin tone is kind of, silly. Because as soon as you focus on dark skinned women, and then Ariana Greenblatt walks by with her and her, cute face and, next level booty, you're going to be like, well, you going to stick to this plan? I don't think you are. You know, I think that what we should stick to is making sure we focus on being very good at making sure they respect us. Because right now, what's going on with black men is that you got women all over, for the most part, who are raised to see us as monkeys.
Hey, Baba, but don't say that word, man, please.
You think
James.
okay, I didn't
Don't
think that
say that
was
word on
right.
YouTube, man. Just say M or something, bro. Just on YouTube.
Okay, well, I didn't think that one would catch it, but I'm just saying, like, what? But they're seeing this as like, which is Shrek. Okay, they're raised to see us like that. You're Shrek, and you have to be good at communicating and have your stuff together for her to just say, um, okay, well, you know what? I think maybe this dude is pretty good. And the more she looks at you, the more she pays attention to you, the more she starts to think like women in other countries. Because everyone knows that at one point you will see a type of girl, regardless of what race she is, especially if she's white or Hispanic, in Brooklyn or the Bronx. You get the same guy, the way he's treated there. In 2010, he can go to Germany, and a woman twice that good looking, quality inside and out, would be like, if you got your stuff together, you know. And today, we have what's spreading out right now is we're starting to lose even that, and it's harder, and it's getting harder and harder every day. We got to fight our own people, you know. So if you prioritize a race, all you're going to do is shrink your pool of opportunities. And if you think that a blonde haired, blue eyed white girl is not going to, you know, hold you down versus a dark skinned sister from Kenya, then, you're mistaken. But what am I going to do? I'm going to choose the dark skinned woman from Kenya. Why? It's because I don't have to worry about nothing else. Okay. I don't. But if you say the blonde haired black girl is in Frankfurt, Germany, and you go there and you're going to stay there with her, you really ain't got to worry about nothing because no one cares. Nobody cares. No one's going to be like, what is he doing with that white? No one's going to do that in Frankfurt, Germany, or any part of Germany. You have to go to the rural, broke, ignorant parts of Germany. And these people are just like the dumbest people. They're worse than Americans in those parts of Germany. The right wingers, they're dumber than the ones. They're worse than the ones in America. If you hear what they say, you would literally think they just got finished smoking like the worst of the worst, or injecting it. But you can't make that part of your journey to finding your ultimate, peace. You got the girl, the job, the money, etc. Skin tone is just not. It's going to set you back. It's going to lose focus. Because Latin women are already, especially ones in Mexico, they're already raised to be perfect black men. You have to teach them nothing but English.
Thank you, James. Awesome. Anyone else want to chime in on this discussion?
Yeah, I think brothers are gonna go for their heart, to be honest. Yeah, no, it's really first come, first serves. Brothers, I said this before, I'll say again, some brothers, they don't want to deal with black women, and it's based on trauma. They don't want, they're just done, bro. They're done. Yeah, I know that she can be foreign, she can be from the motherland, she can be. They don't want to deal with that. They'd rather deal with a snow bunny or a rice bunny, a Japanese woman or Vietnamese woman or Korean woman. They're tired, bro. They don't want to. They're just afraid. They don't want to experience that hardship like they experienced back in the UK or the US.
But Karen, bro.
The trauma, bro. It's deep. It's very deep because I've experienced it. If I find a foreign sister and she meets all my requirements, she likes me for me, I'll choose her. But I'm not gonna limit my options. If I see a German woman, if I see a Japanese woman or Korean woman, and they like me for me, I'm gonna choose her over the sister because it's first come, first serve.
Hmm. Do you feel like but would you say that's a Western thing though? Like, it's the Western sisters things that have given black men that trauma, but we know,
Yes.
like, we have to, when you go abroad, you're in Africa, you're different black communities, that trauma goes away. Do you feel like brothers are keeping
It
hold
doesn't.
to this
It doesn't
trauma for
go.
too long? Hmm.
It doesn't go away, bro. Because like I'm Nigerian, even though I'm British, I'm Nigerian. Been to Nigeria 3 times. Nigerian women, they are so westernized. It doesn't go away because of globalization. They have the internet. So Nigerian women, they're just as westernized. I mean, brother, you've experienced it. I don't need to tell you, you've experienced it. They're just as westernized as UK black women and African American women. It's a globalization.
Even more than South American, South African black women.
I can't tell. I haven't experienced South African black women, but what I do
Wow.
know, what I
Yeah, I was
do
cool
know,
with her.
what I do know, Nigerian women, they are extremely difficult to deal with. They are hard to deal with.
I know they look good. I know that. Whew.
But can you
Did,
keep them? That's the
did, it,
problem.
did they look good, Dems, in your opinion? Keep a buck with you, bro.
I'll be sure, but I deal with them every day. I deal with them every day, and my opinion, if not all of them, because they prioritize. I don't know why. When I was in Nigeria, they're doing BBL. What do you need BBL for?
I know. That's crazy. That's crazy work.
Wow, that's crazy. They got BBLs in Nigeria.
What do you need? That's what I'm saying. But what do you need BBL for? This is Africa. African women, Nigerian women normally have big behinds.
Right. Man, yeah, I'm on his case too. I'd be like, yeah, if I find something like in South Africa, South America or anything abroad or whatnot, I would definitely be open to it. But Western woman can leave a lasting imprint on your brain. Um, yeah, and it makes an impact. Whether you believe it or not, it makes a lasting impact on who you want to really end up choosing.
Let me first question out here, right? Okay. So, white women in the West have never given y'all trauma? White British women, white American women? If so, if they have given you trauma, why haven't brothers ruled out Europe out of interest? I just want to make the argument even more interesting. Dems and the
No,
brothers. I'm pretty sure a lot of white chicks in the West have done some crazy things towards black men, right?
yeah,
Giving black men trauma. So why are brothers still on this Europe train? White women this, white women that. Same for BWs as well. BWs are giving black men trauma in the West. Why? Okay, so it's in. I'm not interested in Africa, but why are brothers
but
interested in Europe? Even though white women have also given them trauma in the West as well. I'm just throwing it out there, bro.
but
You're
like
right. Like we've gotten trauma from both. But to be
yeah,
honest, when you have someone that looks like you shit on you the most, it
yeah,
kind of stings more. And
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, it's like our women, they tend to reward the guys that are not, at the best trajectory. And that sounds bad, but it's the honest truth. And a
yeah.
lot of our women, they're choosing guys that are not the best. So
I'd
yeah.
agree. I can agree with him because a lot of times too, like if you grew up I think it's about proximity. IP. If you grew up in the inner city in America or whatnot, um, yeah, it's gonna have a definite effect of how you view a certain woman, um, especially being that they chose to give certain people certain options and favoritism towards other guys, and you're overlooked.
Okay. Okay.
And IP
But I
and real
think it
quick
depends
and
on who you deal. I don't mean to cut you off, but it depends on who you dealing with. Like, because majority of the time, like you're more than likely going to, like, if you're a black guy in the West, you're going to be dealing majority with black, be around black women majority of the time. So,
Facts. And
you,
and
you
I
can,
us American brothers, like, we prefer black women for the most part. And whenever we go to these European countries, just naturally we go for these European black women. Obviously, we have access to other girls now, but preferably we'd end up with the black women, whether that's in Africa or in Europe. So it's not because we don't like black women. That's not the case at all. We've just had a tough experience, especially going through school with them stateside, and that's the honest truth.
Okay. To just try to make it interesting, open up the conversation for some interesting arguments there. All right. No, this has been a great discussion. I got around 20 more minutes left, half an hour. Anyone else want to chime in on this topic or have any questions?
yeah, I got a question.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
Sorry, bro. I'll say this. So, yes, white women have given black men trauma. If you've been looking at the recent news, certain male celebrities have gotten themselves into trouble. But I would say it's white women. They won't give you as much sting as black women in the West because we have sisters who are black women. We have cousins, aunties, mothers who are black women. So when dealing with a black woman, they know who you are because you've been surrounded by them for our entire lives. When it comes to a white woman, on the other hand, yeah, they may give you some issues, but they don't really know you that well. So
Whoa.
they don't know you because she's white.
If there's one thing white women know, is how to hurt black men.
Oh, I know
They're
that.
very good at it.
I know.
They're very good, and they're more effective with it.
Yes.
They're more precise with it. When it comes to our women, it's simply a lack of respect. We all know about HR Keisha. Okay. We know about Supervisor Keisha, colleague Keisha. We have found them in the most minute places of authority and using it to come after us and us only because they can't come after the other guys. Okay. If the average black man knew how high the deck is stacked against him, his priorities will adjust. I would at least hope so. But there is no safe place for us. We just have to be very good at vetting whoever we're dating out. The race of the woman has nothing to do with it. It's how she was raised and what her priorities are. Okay. If her priorities require you to be removed, then you're going to have problems. If her priorities requires you to be close to her because she sees you as a good idea for her life goals, then you're in good set. It doesn't matter who she is or where she comes from. Okay. When it comes to black men, we're always seen as vulnerable. Even if she can't, she's going to try anyway because in her mind, of course I can get away with this. He's black.
Yeah, powerless. Facts, bro. James speaking facts, bro. Absolutely facts. And this is what happens when you're powerless. And a lot of women know black men have no power. They know that, whether it's at home, whether it's international. Imagine living in her country, right? And and she wants to ruin you. You don't speak the language. You don't really know the cultural customs properly. She really can ruin you. And like not only could you be seen as vulnerable abroad, but even at home as well. We're powerless in America and the UK. They know, yeah, it's facts, James. So carry on, brothers.
Can I ask James a question real quick?
Yeah.
Because I know he's been in Germany for I'm not sure if he's still there, but he always shares his experience. What's the most up to date intel on Germany? How is it looking for brothers?
Ask me a specific question about Germany.
Is it still as good as it's been portrayed for the past however many years? Um,
How many
you've
years
been
going
watching
back?
IP.
Going back how
Let's
many years?
say let's because I think IP has been talking about Germany for at least 3-4 years now. So let's say the past 5 years.
Yes, it's still good.
Okay.
Germany hasn't changed much in 5 years. So you do not get what you got back 20 years ago. Okay. That's dead. That's dead all over the world. Okay. We help our adversaries destroy that. And we have to get it back by any means necessary. Not just with the women, just overall. There was a time where we had a reputation with the world that the US was very scared of. It was frightening, and they toned down. Okay, the US backed up a little bit and they started doing things very secretive. Now they're not afraid of anything. Okay, that's what's going on right now. We lost a lot of what we worked so hard to build up in the 60s and 70s. And by
Are you
the
referring to
80s,
our image? Are you referring to our image and then we're reviewed?
yeah, our image is shot right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
but we
Totally
still
agree.
have a little something because we have to show up really, really good. And when we do, we're given an opportunity from certain sectors in the world, some more than others. As
Wh-
far as
Which which
Germany,
which cities do you
you,
recommend in Germany?
Hamburg,
Okay.
there's some other cities closer to Denmark. The
And why
closer
is
to
that?
Denmark you get, the better. But I do know that you can have a great time in Berlin, and I really like Frankfurt. But Frankfurt is hard because the women are very uppity there. Okay, you will see a lot of beautiful women with some amazing bodies. Jeans look like they're about to be, torn apart. This is just the truth. Okay, and I'm about to try to keep. I'm not going to piss IP off with the PG, but I'm going to try to clean it up. There's the reason why you get what you get when you go to Germany. The reason why Germany is the way it is because after World War II, all the soldiers against Germany and Japan and Turkey and all the ones who were against us, they had their way with those who were not men. I'm good so far, right? IP.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was bad. We're talking like millions. It was in an open, in front of the world. It was, if they do a movie about this, the world will go quiet if they're thorough. I pray to God that they do one day. And I don't think Germany wants this. And here's why. A lot of children came from it. There's a lot of stories about that. They had certain names for them, but there were so many that they had to change the records, change the last names, make adjustments, clean it up. And as a result, you have a lot of mixed blood, but no one, if you go to Germany and talk about that, are you mixed? And if you're referring to that, get ready because you may not make it home. That hits a nerve like you wouldn't believe. And you know what? I'll probably help them. I just might. Straight up, if you'd ask foul. But anyway, that's what you get with that's what's going it hasn't healed yet from that. World War II, that's not really what's troubling society. As a result of that, Germans who didn't have anything were able to run amok and grab land. It was like a big land grab, you know? And they made the best of it. They rebuilt it. They shook the right hands and they shut their mouths to the right people. And they rebuilt it. And Germany has rebuilt itself to be something that everyone knows that Germany is one of those countries that you could say at least somebody's got it right. They're proud of who they are. They know who they are. But they have this thing now where you got, I know what I had to do, what my family had to do. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's true in Germany. And that's said from every German to every other German. And the women too. Which is why when German men go on dates, this whole idea of paying for it, they'll look at you like, what? Are you crazy? You pay for it. There's been stories of German men calling their girlfriends up that they went on a date with and letting them know what they owe them for the date, and still expecting to see them even more, and probably might. I mean, a lot of American women have gone over there and found that out the hard way. They ain't spending no money on you. You spend money on them. Okay?
Mm.
A lot of the women are very attractive, and there's more women than men. They have their pick. And a lot of German men are tall and fit. You know? So they will appreciate you if you come correct as a brother. They're seeing this all the time, this same look, the same blonde hair, they see it all their lives. And it hasn't been all that great. You know, they're like, oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that movie. And you come in brown, gold skin, you know, smooth, you're respectful, you take them on dates, you know, you clean cut, you smell good, you fit, you're respectful, you know, all these things they never did. Like, wow, holy crap, that's what you had. Now it's getting a little bit harder and harder to do it, but you still kind of got it. But you really have to step it up more than you did back then.
Mm. Yeah, thanks for that
Awesome.
breakdown. That's awesome.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Okay. So let's wrap up the stream. This has been a great stream. Thank you all for calling in. Thank you for the Soul Super Chat. Great discussion. I may have a stream tomorrow, depends how I feel, or later on today. But appreciate you, brothers. Have a great weekend, and we shall speak soon.